DFCRadio.com.
We're good to go.
Monday.
The Plug Gaming, live on DFZRadio.com. It is here now. Is this not what you have been waiting for?
That's what I wait for.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, man.
I was going to do it. Is that not why you are here? Maximus Aurelius. Leaders
Coldest
of the army.
name ever, dog.
Leaders of the armies of the far north.
Oh, my God,
That was when, like,
Father
IMAX
to
was
a
getting
murdered
huge for,
son.
like, Hollywood movies,
Husband
too.
to a murdered wife. And I will have my vengeance.
That movie was so lit. That was, like,
Yeah.
one of the big IMAX things, too, at the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the Plug Gaming. We're here to talk about video games and other bullshit like Russell Crowe's lines from Gladiator.
Like anything Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He's a real-life video game hero.
Yeah.
Just look at him in South Park.
It's true. It's true.
It is.
And that's what we speak here is the truth about video games. Rocky, we were talking about that before, might be the least truthful because he's generally just talking shit about anything.
What are you talking about?
We were just talking about that, how you generally are talking about fucking strangers' mothers.
Yeah.
And you do your toxicity is for the community, so that's what we were just saying. Just
I mean, Xbox Live Spares.
All
Xbox-
parties
that's-
represented.
that's all we were saying. That's it.
I'm just trying to keep it alive because it died. And
I know. Well, it didn't.
it still lives
I
with
still get
me.
the
Someone's
most.
gotta
I
bring
still
it
get
back.
the most messages from games on Xbox.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I actually got one. I did get one from Destiny 2 recently on PlayStation, so it was
Okay.
good. It was good.
How was it? I need to
Oh,
know
it was
this.
good. The guy started with
Tasty salt.
the shotgun, yeah, because like it's like was last word time, so the crucible was just going off. People were sweaty and salty.
Now, do you respond or do you just get this
Oh yeah, I
long
respond.
old
No, I
thing?
respond.
Oh,
I
okay.
respond.
Do you
I was like,
respond
this guy
to
just
the guy
said-
tried to.
people
the guy
just
tried
send
to-
you stories
The guy
all the
tried to hit.
time.
No, he didn't hit me with the story. When it's a story, I usually go into like there's something deeper festering there, so I try not to touch it because who knows? We've
He just
been there
finds their
before
Facebook,
where-
orders them
We've
30
been there
pizzas.
before where I received messages and I was streaming. Rocky responds to the message on stream, and then I get the messages saying all kinds of other stuff about how his comments.
Perfect.
This, so we don't get too far into this.
And that was a wild
That's
shit
the stream was popping off. This was when I was. I mean, I need to get back into streaming.
Yeah,
like
that
I
was a wild night.
But the
Salt
streams
commentary is
the
a-
streams were going off. We were getting good views. We were having a lot of people come through, and you just get haters. You know, when that starts happening. And I was telling these guys, I was like, yeah, that's when you know your streaming is you're doing a good job when you have to deal with all aspects of the stream, shitty people.
That's
good
when the
people.
entertainment gets next
Yeah.
level.
Right, exactly. Content
Like,
starts
why
just
do I
pouring.
want to watch a streamer be good? Because then someone's going to throw hate
Yeah.
on their stream at some
Yeah.
point and
you gotta
get
slide
torn
on there
apart.
and be like, "Hey, you're a fucking terrible
Oh, man,
gamer."
I love it.
And
But yeah,
I'll fuck your mom.
The guy
And it's
sends me a
like,
message of something along the sorts. I can actually just pull the messages up.
You ain't
be
gotta bring
honest.
that up, dog.
Okay, but anyways, no, he says something about me using a shotgun and this or that, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, like, he said you're using your shotgun as a crutch. Next time, switch your weapons. And I was like, why would I need to switch weapons?
Yep.
And he goes, you can't shoot. He's like, you tried to shoot me from across the map with the shotgun. I even though that wasn't true, I was shooting the other guy that died in front of him, and maybe like a pellet hit him or something. I don't know, but.
Straight bullet.
Yeah, but the thing is that I go back into the game and I look at the score and I'm like, okay, I'm on the top. My KD is high. Look at this guy. He's in the middle. Not that great at KD. It was like, okay, whatever. He's just salty. And he continues about, my shotgun usage and saying I'm using it as a primary. I was like, it is a primary. This is exactly where the slot that it sits in. And then he says something about you should see yourself or something like that, or you should see what something does without it. And I was like, why? You should see what it did to you,
The shotgun hate.
or something like that. And I was just like, you should have seen what it did to you. Like you're mad because you died a bunch of times. Like I don't understand this.
You sent hate mail to a stranger because
Yeah.
you lost at the game.
Yeah,
Enough said.
I don't even get it.
That's already. That's
the
already.
best
like,
ones are when
you
there's.
stepped
He
in
wasn't
there.
even talking about cheats or hacks. Usually, it's someone saying that I'm like aimbotting or something like that, or that I'm cheating or not taking damage, and I'm like, yeah, I have a self-healing warlock. Don't get punched in the face. When your homie came over the steps, and I fucking face palmed him, and he died. I started healing, and then when I killed your other homie, guess what? I started healing. That's how that fucking thing procs, dumbass. Like, I'll sit back here in a rift as a fucking Nova, not a Nova Warp, but a fucking like top tree warlock,
Sometimes the meta burns.
void warlock, and you're just fucking devouring everything. If you're tanking properly, you can just sit there and destroy people in the Crucible. Especially when it was it was positive outlooks and fucking
Oh, jeez.
whatever. Like I could sit from anywhere and just just track people down like it was nothing.
When assault rifles
And
were
it's
used
like,
for
yeah,
auto
but the hate
rifles.
mail comes from that. It's like, dude, like that's mediocre. I've been like, if you thought that was bad, you should see what people do to me. You know
Those
what I mean?
were
Like,
days
I
when
just get
auto
racism.
rifles were a killer in that.
I get the
somehow
really good
people
racism.
automatically know that Rock's black just from playing with him. They don't have to hear his
Like,
voice
they
or
don't-
anything.
they
They
just
just
know.
see his play style. They're like, he's this guy's knocked out and doing self reses. He's sleep resing people. Must be a black guy.
Yeah, I get the most racist shit. It's insane.
No, I think that instantly, what it
Yeah.
really is that instantly the hate comes in the okay, let's be honest. The reason why racism is prevalent and is always there is because it's the easiest thing to go to. It doesn't require you to do anything besides repeat stuff that you've heard.
Yeah.
You don't have to be clever to get
But if
somebody.
you are, you can get some good ones out there, some
Okay,
zingers.
exactly. But then it doesn't rely on the racism, though. It relies on your creativity. That's what the zinger is. The racism is shock value at most. You're just like, damn, what did he say? Whoa, like that already. So that's where it gets people, and yeah, it cuts to the bone. So that's like it's the biggest cheap shot you could do in verbally. You know what I mean? And there are probably people that cheap shot people in real life too, with like actual punches. Probably hit people when they're not looking, because you can't think of anything else to do.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always racism is the first thing to come. Because hey, well, I can't. I'm pissed. I'm gonna call the N-word.
Yeah.
You have no idea. And guess what? The N-word's effective to anybody because they know the things that follow with it. You know what I mean? What it means. You call a white person the N-word, they're gonna fucking lose their shit. You call a black person.
It's even funnier calling a white person than I can't even lie.
I know. I've gotten the kick out of
They
it
say,
a few
hey,
times.
I'm not even black. I'm not black.
What do you, and then you ex- and then
Just
you
instant
and then you ex-
meltdown.
and then you explain to them, it's like, yeah, you don't have to be. And they're like, what?
Yeah, then you give them the definition, and then that really makes them pissed.
And then they're like, wait,
Like-
so I can say it? And you're like, no.
Yeah, no one can say it. No one actually says it. No one actually really says the N-word anyways. Like, if we want to really get into it. No one is walking around dropping hard R's on their homies.
I
We'll
know-
just say
know a
that. Well, you may know a guy. I know a fucking guy in
I
the
mean, like
deep
the
south of
worst
Texas.
speech impediment.
That if you see a black guy, he'll pull a shotgun on him. He may not kill him or shoot him or anything like that. He's not going to physically
He'll
harm them.
definitely put the gun on.
But he will
me.
put the gun.
Keep walking, boy.
He's old as shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, that's just. Yeah, everybody knows the exception of the like, extreme fucking version of whatever. Sure, but that's what comes to. That's what actually needs to be cleaned up. The only thing I don't like about the hate, like shit talking's fine. Send messages. Do it all. Like I don't mind that guy sending me a message. He's upset. Whatever. I still told him GG's at the end of it. Like I just get like that because
It's like there's one line when you're just sending some messages and talking shit back and forth, and there's another line where there's all that like
I would have seen
calling the SWAT team
if I
or
could break
whatever
the
on people
spirit
and
and make him
shit.
kill
so.
himself.
Jesus.
That's my go-to move. Let's see if I can break this guy's spirit.
Don't say that
And
on.
Hopefully, we can see if he just.
Don't say that. Don't say
Okay.
that.
Just no more.
Oh my God, we're moving on now.
So,
All right.
We
What
play
do you guys?
video
What do you
games on
guys
this
been
show.
playing?
What
do
have you been
Yeah, what
playing
have you been
on?
gaming on,
Rocky?
Jesus.
I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, man.
that's good.
I'm a
Hell
quarter
yeah.
through. It's pretty
Hell yeah. You've been playing slow.
Yeah. I've been
That's
gr-
tremendously
feeling
slow.
so far?
Because I'm about to get this shit and just fucking tear it wide the fuck open.
But I mean, I'm like getting literally every fucking.
I'm gonna get it all too.
thing.
That dude,
You
it's
just gonna
like
smash through it
it's-
like that?
it's
No
so-
story,
dude,
lore. Like, come on, you gotta. Do
I
all-
process it, dude. I don't know. RPGs are my thing. Like
Yeah.
literally, I have
Yeah.
my brain has like 5 Final Fantasies. Like literally, if I put them fire them up, I already know what's happening in them. I catalog this shit.
Okay.
I've 100%ed several of the Final Fantasies, gotten everything inside of them, ultimate weapons, everything for all characters. This is my shit.
No, I can dig it. I
Okay,
can dig
Kingdom
it.
Hearts involves all that shit, and then like my childhood with the Disney shit. So like,
It plucks all the
Honestly,
strings.
yeah, you know exactly. For me, it's like
Whole
exactly,
guitar
that's what-
solo
I'm
on
playing
the
this
heart.
shit-
It's
Yeah, I'm
still
playing this
super
shit with
Disney
my
now, just
son.
so you know.
I'm playing this
That's
shit
what
with
I've
my
heard.
I
son.
didn't see any. Like, haven't seen really too much.
I've
like
actually
Final
heard
Fantasy.
a couple of
I know,
really
but-
shitty reviews from
but it-
people that I did not expect to give that game shitty
No,
reviews.
I totally understand that, and I actually heard the same thing
yeah.
already prior.
Just
and
like
I knew
certain emptiness about it in degrees.
And I knew that.
Certain
It felt
types of
super
story,
Disney.
like
Yeah, just-
yeah, super Disney. Where like we just want to force this character in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what Disney does, and
Yeah.
honestly, I kind of saw that coming, anyways, because
I mean, still a good game.
I
I'm
just-
not gonna
oh,
take
yeah, I'm
anything
not-
from it.
because-
because I haven't played it.
Well,
it was weird to see that response.
the amount of time that has passed from the games being made, the same things that were relevant that made those Kingdom Hearts relevant for instance, for like our generation, are not going to be the same ones that make it for this generation. They're kind of building off of
Yeah.
this new Kingdom Hearts 3.
and they're still trying to like bridge the gap between the.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can keep them so separated that you can still play this installment without playing the other ones.
Okay.
And
I mean, that was
think
what I was curious
I
about
think
before
that
it came
kind of because it's so fragmented that you'd literally have to go through.
That's
all
what
the
it seemed like
stuff.
too. Is they're telling you the whole thing anyway as it's
Yeah,
happening.
It's kind of how it plays out.
To listen to like the chipmunks talk
So-
about like technical.
Oh, the gummy
Internet-
ships and shit,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, me personally, I think that they did that kind of because like the Final Fantasy 8 and 7 references with this heavily
It
kind
went
of
over a lot of
Disney,
people's heads, dog.
this Disney stuff. It doesn't really ring true to so many people that are total Kingdom Hearts fans. It's kind of like its whole new entity. For me, though, coming out when it did, and having that experience of playing all those games and have them tie that into there when they needed that content, when they were building this kind of vibe for this game, it's what makes these. So, like for me, that is a character in its own that's just as valuable as Cloud was. You know, Sora's in that category. He's now has that place to where he doesn't need to borrow so much. Disney's got to be infected. You know, they got to.
You're
You're putting Mickey in there.
already the legend. It's like you don't
Yeah,
need to explain
I
his
kinda
story
feel like
so much. You just need to go
he's
in
an
and start
important character.
saving
I
shit.
know
No,
about him like I
seriously.
know about Cloud,
They-
about Leon, all the characters of Final Fantasy.
They
that I
already
love.
should have started melting away both of those worlds and made it its own thing because they had already built the character up.
Yeah,
Like,
but I think this long period of time also doesn't help them when they try to bring that stuff back in and be like, there's kids that were born during this time that are going to play this game that aren't going to know who Final Fantasy 8 is, Final Fantasy 7.
That's real
They're not
shit.
going to know who Cloud Strife was, right? Or Squall, Lionheart. You know, they're not going to know who these characters are from Final Fantasy 8, who literally like built my foundation for like, hardcore gaming.
yeah.
You know, and really investing what a game could be, like the platform that it could be, and how I can invest myself in it, like a book or a movie or a project of any kind of studying of something, of really investing into lore and understanding this world
Yeah.
that's digital, made up, like we used to do when we were kids. You know what I
It's
mean?
that interesting blend of like book narrative and
Yeah.
movie visual.
Japanese
of-
RPG.
that you get, and JRPGs really lean towards the book
PlayStation,
side, where
we're getting
it's
CG
about
cinema.
discovering this whole story, and you got this interesting blend where you do get to be inside the character's head, inside their persona, which is what you get from books.
Yeah.
but you get the whole visual masterpiece. That's the movie aspect. So it's like
Yeah.
a great combination of mediums.
That's what introduced it to me.
Yeah.
So
And
like
JRPGs really hit the spot on that for like
right
the storytelling
inve-
aspect.
for when you get
Yeah,
invested.
that is some super
When you get
hardcore
invested.
shit because
Yeah.
they are super story driven.
but they're
They
usually
are just
well
story-driven.
you
structured
are
to
going
play
to
at
just
your
read
pace
your
as well.
ass
Though.
off, and then they're going to be like, "All right, now you can."
Well, let's think
play."
about
But
the first
the
RPG.
perk you get with that with those games is they're well designed for playing at your pace.
Yeah.
So at least like you don't have to rush through it or play stupid slow. You could skip certain elements. You could
first
skip
RPG
If it
was
wasn't for
text.
RPGs, I probably wouldn't even be
First
like
RPG
a
text.
reader like that. I was like a.
Oh yeah, I did.
Absolutely.
RPGs
I
made
played
me read.
so many reading.
I hated reading.
things in
my
games,
my
yeah.
my teachers, I had teachers that they'd ask me about where I learned words, and I would tell them like Breath of Fire 3, and they wouldn't understand what I was talking about. They thought I was crazy. And no, even in school, like they would even tell my parents like we're not sure, this or that, and they're like he does all the work that's like, but I wasn't into this kind of stuff that they were trying to teach you, especially young. When I was really young, because I had two older brothers, they had video games. I got to experience these video games even when I wasn't like fully able to really play them to beat them. But I was playing Final Fantasy. I was understanding about the adventure, moving place to place, conserving items and things like that. Like I was already into that, and that reading and text is what it is. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there, they're playing, I'm reading it. This is like the
I used to
origins
even
of
play
the
some of those,
foundation of
like-
my language. You know what I mean? Is from in some sort of video games, and I think a lot of people are like that. They just don't realize that because they don't realize that video games can be that source, so they don't look for it.
Well, and too, like a lot of games have gone away from that source to a degree.
Yeah.
But you can still
Yeah,
discuss.
well,
But take
the
like
shortest-
Destiny, where it's like
short
once you
attention
give
span.
the effort, is you can discover it inside of the game, which they
True.
they do.
They
well
do
in
very
Destiny.
well. They do that
Yeah.
very well, and
But
that's
like
what
I started
captures
on,
a lot of people.
I mean, I didn't start on, but I played as a kid a bunch of the computer text adventure games too, where you're like typing what to do next.
That's
and
what I was gonna
stuff.
say. The first
And
some of
it's
our first
like-
RPGs on
Yeah,
console.
Those
or,
are the original RPG
PC,
games.
Yeah.
It's basically
When
cards
we took
and
them off of
pictures.
paper. When
Yeah.
we took them off of paper.
Walk
and-
forward.
Yeah.
Walk forward.
Yeah.
Open box.
Right. What do you
Holy-
do next? The box. The box has a latch on it. Do you open it?
I had like
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
you
dead.
open it.
I had
Well,
like
booby trapped in
Start
in my
over.
school
Your
at the
skin just
time,
melted
we had
off
a
your body.
computer lab, and like teachers would be shocked at me and like a couple of the kids that I was friends with because we played games.
Right.
Like we were good with computers.
Yeah, you were already able to
but
navigate.
it was just, we
through
were able
them,
to
yeah.
type. We were able to
Right.
do like stupid things. Like
Right.
when we were doing Learn AutoCAD at basic level
Right.
in those classes, it was like, yeah, this is easy. I've already been doing all these elements
Right.
just to have fun.
Right. I think that's
Yeah.
that. I think that's actually the big,
It's one of the
that's
elements
a
that gets
seg- that-
mixed.
but it's mixed.
From,
It's missed
yeah.
at the educational level. How important computers? Well,
But even
maybe
like,
not now.
I've spoken to teachers now,
and computers
they
are too
talk
advanced
about
now.
how like take Assassin's Creed is a great example that students learn actual history
Yeah.
elements
Yeah.
and apply them to their classes because they played Assassin's Creed games.
True.
Yeah.
Dude, I did a linguistics course or class project on Destiny 2 was like the subject that I was, studying through, but basically it was language, and it was language on the internet and how like LFG, is created. The LFG, looking for game, and then kind of the verbiage that one would use or the syntax, like your organization of letters to create these messages where we're not even really saying words at times. We're just like LFG 2 NF.
You're basically
You know what I
learning
mean?
coding on the fly.
390.
Yeah.
And basically what I said was looking for game, nightfall, 2 people, 390 light level. You know what I mean? And I didn't say all that shit. I
It
just
is
said
incredible how good we are at
LFG
taking like 3-letter combinations and figuring out what 3 words that means.
And so, like, it was like this whole creation of language type thing, and I kind of just took it that way. It was far reach from what most people were doing. Like, we had some chick in there that she was talking about dominatrixes and how language is dynamic
Fucking
and
knock it
how.
off, lady.
yeah,
how-
you still
she
talking
brought
about
a flogger in with her on her project, and she was talking about how male language roles. It's not a static thing. It's not something in our society. It's not something that's static. It's not something that's always the same. Like you use certain language as a male, you use certain words, you say them certain ways, you may curse them more, this or that. She said, in these relationships, though, in dominatrixes and like, intimate relationships, you see that role change, where the woman assumes that role as like a male and starts using,
Hey, was she hideous and built like a trick?
no,
like a truck,
no,
or?
she wasn't. She was.
Okay.
She called herself Red Dreads. She had this big old fucking thing of dreads, redhead, and she was super interesting. I mean, she wasn't like a looker or anything like that. She wasn't like terribly looking.
But she was like super into it, so she
so
learned
she
about
knew,
it from that angle.
A lot of the stuff she went into made some people uncomfortable. I was just like, this is the most interesting thing I've ever heard.
To hear someone talk about like an obscure topic, but they are a complete expert. On
Yeah,
that
and then it was the
topic.
language. So it's like, they're like, someone asked like, how did you get to hear all the language there, this, that, and she's like, I'm a voyeur.
I hit people until they start
da-da-da.
shouting words.
And so
and
she's
that's
like,
how I
no,
learned.
she's a participant in these meetups, but she's a watcher.
What?
She participates, but does not actually like
Voyeur?
participate. She just is there to watch.
To laugh?
Nope, to keep completely silent and to watch.
Oh, this bitch is disgusting.
It's like a porn play.
Exactly. She's in part of these people's community, but she isn't necessarily comfortable with being with all these people, but she likes to watch.
She's a
So
watcher.
she's gained the trust of this group of people that
She's
allows
a
her to watch.
pervert.
Yeah, but she hangs out with
the-
other
okay,
perverts who all get
exactly.
it.
I
They're
was
all
like,
perverts, and
they're
they're
all-
all like,
they're
we
like-
want to be perverts
they're
together.
like-
Let's fuck around.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody has a
But
great
anyways,
time.
that so mine was about gaming, so I felt comfortable, even though it was during a time where people were like, "What? I'm like, this is online language. You've ever been in a chat room? This is like the most advanced versions of chat rooms. Okay, we
Yeah.
get straight to the point around here.
But no, it's funny. It's like because you get a lot of coders that are gamers,
yeah,
and you get a lot of code
exactly.
speech in gaming, which is interesting.
nomenclature, like naming nomenclature, how things are named. Like
Mm-hmm.
you find those patterns and then you just stick to them, and
Yeah.
then you can start kind of developing your own, words or whatever codes for these words that people will
Oh, yeah.
start to understand.
You get it. You Street Fighter. You have like a whole bunch of stupid different terminologies that like they translate over to exact same things in Smash, but Smash has its own words for that, and it's like all these weird technical terms that just pop up because of the people playing the game. They invent
I'm more
shit. and they
forward.
figure-
I'd just be like, go fuck yourself.
That's what you would call that move. All of them.
I'm just out.
See, you're not an efficient. We're talking about efficiency.
We're
Yeah,
talking about like
efficiency
when
with
you're watching
language
people
here.
discuss.
know, I get that
things.
Go fuck
100%.
yourself is not the most efficient way.
I know. I just
It's just what he wants
I
to
gotta
use.
slide in there and just
Oh,
What do you call that? Go fuck
shake
yourself.
it. Just shake it.
should we just? Looks like we're just gonna have to ride this one through here.
Yeah.
Are we talking gaming news, or do we want to just?
I mean, what's even going on these days?
He will.
The demo for fucking Devil May Cry is out. If you guys haven't played it, go get it.
Oh, I
It's
haven't
pretty-
seen that.
You should definitely download it. It's fun.
Are we going to talk the Division and
Those are
Apex
the
though?
big-
That's
yeah,
okay.
those are our big
but
topics,
Rocky, did you
so-
play the demo?
Oh, which one?
The Devil May Cry one.
Yeah.
The one you just
Well, you
brought
just
up.
talked about 2 different games.
No, but I want to make sure that that's what we're going to talk about. We're gonna ride this little.
No, I was just telling
thing,
people
but
to get
later
it. It
we're
was
going to
fun.
talk about. We're going to take a break, and after our break, we're not going to take a break right now. I'm just being clear.
We're setting up the show.
Yeah, we're
This is
going
what's
to
coming
take a
up.
break, and then we're going to talk about 2 more games, Division and fucking.
Those are our main
Apex Legends.
topics this week. for
Right
sure.
now, you're going to talk about this demo, Devil
Devil
May
May
Cry,
Cry.
because I'm wondering, am I going to start feeling regret about not choosing it as one of my free games, or not?
Well, this the thing is,
I need you to tell me.
you remember the one with Nero, how he had the hand?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that again, but it kind of feels more Dante-ish though. So that's.
But
what
aren't
made
you
it-
aren't you don't like technically have the?
I mean, I
There's
didn't get
3
the,
people to choose from.
I
right?
didn't play all 3 characters. If you could, I just played because
I
Bobby
thought.
was
Well,
playing.
I might be wrong, but I thought there was that you could choose. From
I-
at least
I-
2.
apparently, you can choose from 3, right? Like in the
Well,
game. But I only play with the Nero character
they usually
because that's
only
who
one?
he was using.
They're usually only one.
You're playing
yeah.
like one person story usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
So I just like grabbed the controller because it just wasn't working out for him.
And I assume that means like you're swapping between the 3
I
throughout
hope
the
he's
story.
not a gamer at all, but it was really good. Like it had that classic Devil May Cry feel, but the new abilities with the arm, like the little metal arm shit, was kind of epic and shit. You know, I like it a lot, but I didn't get to really crack it open heavy, so you got to play it a couple times to really learn the
Now-
combos and shit.
Do you have control of the camera in that, or is it set angles?
Honestly, I didn't really play with the camera too much because you know how it just.
Sometimes
like,
it does
really-
those weird zooms, though.
Yeah, but it was straight.
That's like the hardest thing to figure out. When
Or
it
the
comes to-
corners, or it's like you get caught over here, and the camera's just like...
Like, yeah, God of War. Like, if you go play God of War, like
Oh,
the first
jeez.
ones right now,
Yeah.
They get past the
You-
Exile facelift.
you will feel
Ooh,
that.
nice.
You will feel that.
Warframe
Even though
got
when
a
you
huge
played
update.
it, even though you
And a
played
new-
it
and a
in the
new
past,
character.
it's not. It's not. You'll be like, what the fuck? How did I play with these cameras like this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've
I
gone back
think
to a
about
few
that
old
about a
games,
lot
and they
of
get
games.
crazy.
I'd be
like
like, God damn,
Yo,
I used to play this.
everybody you bring up N64 to, they're like, oh man, I'd love to go back and play GoldenEye. No, you fucking
you
don't.
don't, dog.
C buttons. 4 buttons
Your guy just-
instead of a joystick.
But when you had that
Oh,
shit, it
man.
was like the smoothest
Yeah.
thing out.
You knew how to like get it to recenter quick. You
like-
just had it all
Yeah,
down.
but now you go play on that
today
shit.
you
It's
be
like
And that's
get
why you
mad at your
everyone,
homie
that's
'cause
why you
he's-
fight to be
he
odd job.
continues
you'd be like,
play.
what is the frame rate on this? Jesus fuck, dude! Like I can't even do it. Seriously, like
You can't even aim on like
gaming
door
on the
switches and shit.
PC, and then going back to like a PlayStation game that that
Mm-hmm.
runs at 30 frames, you're just like, my guy's not even sprinting right now. It feels like you're not moving.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's really that. It's like really that bad.
And like now
some
they
guys that are
animate
game-
in how you've got the whole bob with the run to a degree, or like
Dude,
you've got a little
that
bit
makes
more
it
movement
worse.
about
That
things.
makes it worse
Yeah.
though. On when you start bringing the frames down and you just start realizing like the 30 frames that has to go on consoles. If they don't get into 60 frames by this PlayStation 5 or whatever Xbox's new deal is, like whatever their upgrade
They're
to that
mostly
is.
running at 60 frames.
They're not every game is.
I mean,
though. That's what I'm
how-
saying.
okay,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Not every game is.
Because
It's like some of them are stuck in like 40 to 45, which you're like definitely noticing the benefit from it. But like, dude, the 60 needs to be what it is, and if it's not, I think that will be like because like PCs are becoming easier and easier to obtain.
Yeah.
And complete
Everybody I
builds,
know is going PC
and
now.
complete
That shit is
builds,
weird.
and they're like the mining, the
Bitcoin. Stuff?
Bitcoin mining is over. It's done.
Yeah.
You can't mine Bitcoins with graphic cards anymore. It's not efficient enough. They have a new method that literally like fucking crunches the numbers 18 something
Big,
times
I'm rich.
faster.
Yeah.
And it's only attainable if you got tons of money because well, it's actually not that true, but electricity like the cost
That's
of
why it's
doing
all about
business outweighs it.
The
So
made-up-
like
What is it?
so it's all done.
Reddit made up its own money, like what are those called again?
Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency. Reddit, like there was like a meme that got too huge, and then there was a whole subreddit made for it, and then they actually made and released Garlic Coin, and there's a whole cryptocurrency that was just
Yeah, I got
that just
10,000
started
of
as a
those.
Reddit joke.
It'd be $5,000 and you could have them all.
Ugh.
Anyways, it's over. So graphics
Yeah.
cards are dropping. The prices of them are just they're if not now, very soon will be coming down lower because Nvidia and AMD are going to announce new cards very soon. So
Yeah,
if they already haven't, and the
I mean that's in every 6 months.
knowledge,
Think about.
yeah, that's going to start slowing down
Yeah.
because
Well, we're
they're-
pretty
they're-
much peaking
well,
on
they're
a lot of the
plateauing.
material.
Yeah,
the
they're
materials
plateauing.
that we use to make chips
Is
needs
yeah.
to change in
Right.
order to
make them better.
hit the next level.
And they're working
a lot
on
of
that.
things. Actually, a lot of because like there's the quantum.
AMD
there's
is
the
ma-
quantum computing side of things where they're trying to figure
AMD's
that
working
out.
on some newer
But
stuff.
not
too.
everyone can have a vacuum chamber that runs at almost 0 degrees Kelvin.
Yeah.
But there's like I've seen experiments that glass has actually been really, really efficient for like electricity transfer. So
Yeah.
like glass chips did some really cool stuff.
They
but
have
those
some
are gonna
new
be very
chips. There's
fragile.
a new weave or something that they're working
Yeah.
on. AMD is working on, and I guess that's what their Ryzen technology is really based off of. But this advancement of it, I guess, is supposed to be able to just blow the shit out of the water. But for gaming, I guess it's not the best. So there's some hiccups where like what these things are better used for. But that kind of where that used to be, that line used to be way bigger. It's thinned down to where you're like, this is gaming, this is not.
Yeah.
And then you can make that choice like when you're actually at the store. That's always been the hardest thing for people. I think consumers, they'd get a PC and then it's just like we're not
I
really
think
that
the
good
big
for gaming.
trade-off tends to fall into the like size of computations it can do versus the rate at which it
Yeah.
can do the
Do-
computation.
yeah.
So it's,
You
are
need
you
to know
going
the
for
diff-
speed or
right.
complicated?
Right.
You
You want to run a bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
shit at the same time and be doing graphics and all this other stuff. Your CPU needs to be better. You want to be gaming. It doesn't need to be that great. It just needs to be graphics. That's becoming known, or it's become the builds are becoming more common. You have companies that just focus on builds. You have YouTube channels that will show you how to do the build.
Shit, I saw a
Everything-
YouTube video about a guy that made a fish tank working computer tower.
Yeah, and
Gaming tower.
he dips it
Insane.
in. They put
It was weird.
mineral oil.
Yeah, and then they
It's
did like a
mineral
weird
oil.
like liquid cooling system.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mineral oil thing that was like it just will never, it will
Yeah.
always be fine.
Yeah, mineral
I've
oil.
never seen it.
PCs. It doesn't conduct any electricity, so the entire build sits inside of a
A
fish tank
material that is
that's with mineral oil inside of it. They
pretty
just fill
tight.
the entire thing up with mineral oil. I've seen some pretty sick builds in there that the fans are running and everything too inside there, and it's all lit up and everything.
There's some crazy
it's
ones.
pretty cool. But that's
With
becoming.
no electricity.
It doesn't conduct it.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mineral oil.
So you just reach in there like.
but it was like
Well, I don't think you want to. You don't need to reach in there.
I
You're
don't
gonna-
know, I'm just asking.
you don't reach into your computer case when it's on. Like,
But then again, it's like you buy a new chip and now it's like it's a 6-hour process to be like, I got a new graphics card. Oh shit.
oh, but the whole point is that if they don't, the ability to get a good monitor that's 75 hertz, 75 you get 75 frames on a PC. That price is coming down, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about in the
Yeah,
really
you
in the
need to
wheelhouse
buy a-
of a console, and then you get the benefit of an actual computer as well. So you can still browse the internet, do all the other shit, and it's going to be great for all that and fast, and you'll have the best PC that you could imagine, and
like
then
they
a
all
good
everything connects to your
gaming
TV
PC.
so easy now. Like it's just
Right.
You
There's-
can
the
have,
console's not needed to make that connection. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
It's the console just gives you the ease.
Right.
I mean that was
think-
Xbox's whole push even in their Xbox One system. Of
They are
like,
kind of preparing for I think this transition where they know like, hey, people are going to be on PC, and then we got to give them a reason to have our.
I mean, they already
console.
have like
But
all
I
the
thought
social
the
apps
next,
and things
like,
on
the-
Xbox. They might as well just all they need is a keyboard.
No,
and I think
they've
they
already
are.
been
They
talking
have a lot
about
of
that
stuff going on.
transition though.
Mm.
Console is talking about making like their own type of console that's basically a PC, and you just update it.
Well, it is.
And-
Their
and
whole
upgrade.
gaming platform now is called Xbox, no matter what it's found on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? So they changed that name from Microsoft to Xbox. So everything gaming related out of Microsoft and the studios, everything is called Xbox Gaming something. So
Okay.
their name has changed officially to everything they do is Xbox, whether it's on PC or anything. So they've made that kind of move, and I think that's what they're kind of going towards. Like your Xbox, the new one that they probably come out with, is just
Yeah,
going to
they
be
said it's
able to
gonna
be your
be-
PC.
And
That's
that's
what
where
they
they.
said at
Oh, that was
E3,
the big.
remember?
That was some big news
Yeah.
too. You just had the video where like you'll be able to get it on your Switch.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And on
Xbox
other
Live,
services.
Xbox
Live
is
is going to
Switch,
extend to
yes.
phones
Yes,
and
yes.
Switches and everything. Now
This is
it's
true.
It's not going to be that you have Xbox Live games necessarily on your
Yeah.
Switch. It's that you have access to Xbox Live.
Right.
But that means it's only going to grow, and that means they have things like Xbox does have its own
So
broadcast
but
setup.
this crossover
So
play, too.
essentially, it's like your Xbox can be playing on your
Mixer.
TV,
That's
just
how
like
they're getting
PlayStation
Mixer.
does.
That's
Yeah,
how they're
yeah.
going to get Mixer on your console.
But no, I mean like you could essentially, I think, use their broadcast system
Yeah.
to be able to
Play the
look
game.
at the game. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, of course.
Okay,
and use it as
so-
a screen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and I
They
think
stepping it up.
I think Xbox that's building a relationship with Nintendo for their future of all this crossplay stuff. Apex
and they're-
Legends,
yeah.
crossplay. Destiny, hopefully the new ones once Activision's been completely shed, possibly some crossplay.
You know what? Microsoft is just making the same steps they're trying to do in the PC world to a degree, is really move towards software
Yeah,
and being a software
I
brand.
hear they
more.
got some good
And so,
intellectual
like,
properties going too.
Yeah,
I
and
still
so,
see
like-
a problem there, dog.
Well, the idea is that again, Xbox Game Pass. Technically, they don't have to make a console if everything could download the Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, the Game Pass is
And
great.
it already works on PC.
The Game Pass is great.
So the idea is that like they can just move. They don't have to spend as much on all this stuff, and they could just kind of become what Netflix is to a degree. they still, of course, have to provide more because they have to create the gaming environment. They have to sell controllers, all the other shit and stuff. But like, they can just like with cloud gaming and all this stuff, really just move towards gaming being just a service to them.
Hey, that's pretty tight as fuck. They should do that.
It'd be very open. It'd give you a lot of freedom. I mean, it's steps they've put stuff towards moving. And
would
I've
you
totally
not
heard
buy
about
games
them
anymore,
having
though?
flip consoles they're working on for theirs.
Were they just not like
What?
you wouldn't buy games anymore? You would just buy a subscription and
Oh,
have
that I don't
access
know.
to
I
it?
mean, like they already have that with how Game Pass works, and it's very successful, the model. But I'm just saying they don't necessarily have to make consoles, really. They could just make it run through a smart TV. They could make
well,
it run how they
PlayStation
want
does that already, right?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and Xbox does it too, but they're trying to make that the more general concept, it seems, about their gaming platform. Is it's more the service of gaming that they provide and not about the Xbox itself.
PC is about to murder the game if they do this, dog. That's what they don't understand. Cause
Well,
then
no,
PC
I
Well,
mean,
it's just
it's
that they're
start
all
buying
becoming the
rights
same
to this
thing down
shit.
the road. TVs, computers, and gaming consoles are all
We're
really
trying to get
just
them all into
becoming
one.
the same thing.
We're just trying to get them all in one.
That was Xbox's step with Xbox One was being like Microsoft made Xbox One to be your entertainment system in your home. You could use it for cable, TV, movies, all the apps, and your games.
But
I
So
want-
like the
I
next
used
step is
want a
to break
TV
free
that
from the
was
Xbox.
The system. Like
The
you
truth
just get a TV,
is-
you
Right?
just- you
And
can
that
put
would be the
disc in
idea.
it
The
and-
truth is, though, is that unless they start putting the PlayStation inside of the Sony TVs, like everybody's gonna buy the console.
It's
because
Blu-ray,
And
you know?
streaming is
exclusive-
getting so good, people don't have to
exclusive-
download shit anymore.
The exclusivities of the consoles is what, dude. That's what drives Sony PlayStation.
Yeah.
They have games that they've been making for 20 years that only come out for
Agreed.
their system that people love that have to play.
Yeah.
And then there's games that are just ported better for console.
I mean, hell, it's just been like it's been
So,
a
console
long-running
has the-
tradition in this industry.
Console has that. They just need to get better. They need to get down to it, get the frame rates up, and then figure out that pricing.
I'm
And
so
get down
sick
to-
of these fucking frame rates. son.
You don't understand it
Yeah,
because
but
you don't
like,
understand.
if
You don't
you-
understand.
also, if you
you
date
haven't been
all
you
the
haven't
way
been
back-
brought to the other side, dude. You haven't been dipped
Yeah.
in the water. Okay, you don't have the drip. You haven't seen it.
It's
But
like
also,
this is bullshit.
yeah.
Okay.
What I'm saying is like, okay, so
When you feel it, you start to really feel it, and you're like, "Fuck, dude, this is bad."
you
and
walk
that's-
consoles all the way back, though. It is pretty standard for game develop or companies like Microsoft and Sony. They lose money on the sale of the console. That has actually been how it's been for a long time. Is like when you go buy the PlayStation, technically PlayStation loses money more than profits from you buying the PlayStation. But as soon as you buy games, their profit comes back and it makes up tenfold.
Well,
Same with
I don't know.
controllers and all the other
I
stuff.
don't know if
But the
PlayStation-
hardware, the heavy console itself,
I think
usually
PlayStation's always
they're-
reported a profit. Maybe Xbox or Nintendo might have.
I mean,
and that might have been the case.
it's been
for
a
them.
general thing for these systems and how
Well,
they're made.
they sell
It's-
the consoles are priced.
I don't mean
accordingly.
how they show the. I mean overall, you put in the cost of making
Well,
it,
yeah.
and the sales, and all that stuff. I mean, if
Yeah.
you took on the whole landscape, they're losing a bit of money on the PlayStation,
there's a
but
thing called
making
the
up
loss
incredibly
leader.
off each game.
Yeah, hardware is always the loss leader.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, like, to break free from that ball and chain that is the hardware itself, step into Money Town. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think that they do that. I think that there's just like with a PC, you're acquiring this machine that looks a certain way, that has this design that you want to have in your house, that you want to be powering on. You know what I mean? I don't think that part ever goes away.
I think they
I don't think
need
that
to
part ever
rely
goes
on it less, though, and they can start hybriding it into
Well-
other things, like just making it the TV, like Rock said.
Yeah, but if you just make it into TV, then you sell all. You just have like. I just don't think that's how that works.
I don't know.
I think.
I'm thinking down the road, like what shit could be.
But I mean,
Yeah,
shit,
but they
a
have
simple,
that. They have that through the TV. The
And-
PlayStation service, the Game Pass doesn't require you to have an Xbox.
But is it
at all.
PS4 games though?
And I'm just
Yeah,
saying
it's
too, like
the PlayStation
so-
Network games. Whatever they put on their pass, the subscription, is what you get to play.
But
So
is
that
it-
changes.
So is it a PS4
It's
game?
all. It's PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2.
Oh well, shit, dog. That's
So
man.
Xbox is the same way.
Oh,
And the
man,
Game
that's
Pass, you
even
do not
special.
require. Okay, but a Game Pass is not. You don't require game. You don't have to have an Xbox for a Game Pass. You can have a PC.
Yeah.
There just isn't a TV PlayStation already did that. Their TVs, any smart TV can get the PlayStation app. It has all the games on it and everything, and it hooks directly to a PlayStation controller. So it's already there. That's already there.
Xbox
my
has
Sony
an app,
TV,
but they don't do all that yet.
My Sony TV comes with that app built into it. You pay $10, and you have PlayStation 1 Classics, PlayStation 2 Classics, PlayStation 3, which are now Classics, and then whatever select titles they put for PS4.
See, they
If
just need to
you-
open that bitch wide
If
up,
you,
bro.
that's the streaming service where those games are automatically streamed to you. That's like literally probably a catalog of over 1,000 games, and it's called PS Now. They used to do the TV experience with that, so you could just get the TV, all your HBO, all that stuff right in there. They're already doing this. The thing is streaming a live game that, such as like Tomb Raider or something like that, or Destiny. It just, the capacity for the stream is just not there, and then it's relying on your internet connection, which is not very, we all know how that goes.
Internet.
So, I think that those things, they rather take as much responsibility onto their build outs and everything that they're doing to ensure that your service is good and solid, rather than relying on your internet or this or that. Like Netflix, for instance, even on their HD stream, it's like 4 gigabytes. So on their Ultra HD, the stream is like 8 or to 10 gigabytes. That's it. So that's not very much. A
Okay.
game, you're streaming 60 gigabyte load in,
Yeah.
and then you have to buffer that for everything that's happening live. It's a lot. And I don't think that they're quite there for the level of games that we like to play. The older ones, absolutely. They're getting away with it, and it looks good. But you can see at times where it can be like, okay, that game doesn't, quite port as well as these other ones did.
I do think cloud processing is going to be what takes that to the next step.
Yeah, no,
Microsoft
and
just
they're
needs to get
working
their
on
shit
they're
together
they're
on that.
working
Yeah, I
on,
was gonna
on
say,
all
I
of it.
know for a fact they're
And
working on
well,
that shit by
that's what
now.
I'm saying. When Xbox, and I think maybe that's why they refrained from doing it. And they're like, well, on PC we don't
Crackdown
mind.
3,
They're like, we don't mind on PC because
And when does that come out? Next
generally
month?
it's out. It's out like tomorrow or tonight.
it's
Crackdown?
Yeah, Crackdown 3,
We're like
yeah.
right there. But
Yeah,
Crackdown
it's
3
out.
was originally supposed to be Xbox's this is cloud processing launch. I believe
pretty-
it still is.
It is. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that it is.
Because it's like a
Fucking good.
specific thing you go
They've
into,
done some
but the
stuff.
idea is that then since the game is actually like no one's hosting, the game's actually being processed on their own server, and then you're logged into that, so you're really just streaming your experience inside of what their system is processing, and so your Xbox isn't required to do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, they've
And
been. Yeah.
so that's the idea, so that they can make so much more graphically happen
Yeah.
inside of a
They're
Crackdown
rendering.
world. Like you can blow up an entire fucking building.
Yeah, they're rendering part of the offload themselves on their cloud while your computer or whatever you're using is still rendering a lot of the data, whatever's saved in there. But they're loading a lot in there. Like Fortnite does it. A lot of games do it, but Fortnite does it on their big map where they don't load in all of your items. So you may have noticed that when you used to play it, you'd be running and then a tree would show up. And it wasn't just there. That's them loading it in on their side because they're taking it off of your side. So you don't have to load that entire map, all the geography, all those items in there. And as you get to it, they'll load it in.
You're really just like streaming a camera to a degree, almost like how when you use your computer to stream your PlayStation that's actually just playing on your TV. Yeah. And so like you get into that, the idea again of Xbox starting to move away from needing a console, if that comes together, there you go. They technically don't so you'd be able to play just as complicated a game on your phone because your phone is just showing you the stream of your camera's view. Crazy, but like that means Xbox Live on anything could essentially start becoming games on anything because it doesn't matter what that thing is. It just needs to be able to stream whatever screen they want you to see. And you can still input and play everything all the same. It's a great move if they get it working, but they are then picking up a heavy load because it's not like they're just picking up your experience. They're picking up every single gamer's experience and claiming the processing needed to do that. But that's the future.
Yeah, to some degree, I think, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But we've seen those stream boxes come and go. We have seen him
I don't
come
know.
and go.
I'm excited to
Um,
see Crackdown 3's.
I mean,
What a
we're,
big
we're
house.
going to go on a break right now. I'm going to look it up. I think it's out.
Cool.
Or it's
If
coming
it
out
is,
tomorrow.
And when
I'll
we
download
come
next time I
back,
get to the
we're gonna be
house.
talking Apex Legends, the new hittest thing in the town. We're gonna be talking Division 2 beta, right here, DFC Radio. We'll be right back.
We'll be back, y'all.
Get your paper, 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 get your paper. I hustle hard, 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 I hustle hard. Yeah, I stack that money, just money, that's money, that's money, that money, just stack that money. Yeah, I stack that money, just money, that's money, that's money, that money, just stack that money. You weak hustlers just make me laugh, and I ain't fucking with it if it don't make me cash. All I do is stack money. I'm a grown ass man. This a West Coast addiction. Team on the mat, bring the heat on the track, bring the fire in the booth. I'm tired of these motherfuckers lying to you. It's for the real ass hustlers who clocking that dough like Urban G. Bo, who just got home. Get your paper, 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 get your paper. I hustle hard, 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 I hustle hard. Yeah, I stack that money, just money, that's money, that's money, that money, just stack that money. Yeah, I stack that money, just money, that's money, that's money, that money, just stack that money. I hustle harder, I got to get it. Ain't no waiting around for somebody to give it. I stand on my own too, the grind I live it. The 9 to 5 can't provide the digits. My vision's exquisite, like the stones that I wear. Got gold around my neck, got diamonds on my ear. All the whips that I own, sitting on chrome. Candy painted bike that's sitting on gold. Get your paper, 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 get your paper. I hustle hard, 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 I hustle hard. Yeah, I stack that money, just money, that's money, that's money, that money, just stack that money. Yeah, I stack that money, just money, that's money, that's money, that money.
Throwing weed up in the bag, let me get a couple mags, and we do it just like that. We some money loving freaks, so my niggas gotta eat, so we out there moving.
Get your paper up, get your paper up.
I'm stacking so much dough, I got a paper cut. I'm packing so much hay, I filled the stable up. And I don't give a fuck, you lay down for my paper chunk. Yeah. The cold life that we leading, hustle hard just to stay breathing. Jesus.
Get your paper up, get your paper up, get your paper up. I hustle hard, I hustle hard, I hustle hard, I hustle hard, I hustle hard. Yeah, stack that money, just stack that money. Yeah, stack that money, just stack that money. Yeah, stack that money, just stack that money. Yeah, stack that money, just stack that money.
Yeah, taking it to the top. Naps, what's good? Knock on. What I'm saying? We hustle. Hustle hard. Team ADXN. Listen.
Hey, oh, what these niggas want from me? Haters wanna eat now, you're never getting lunch from me. Get off my tailcoat, get off addiction. Team full of mean niggas, team green like it's Listerine. Don't cross the squad, man, we get them off, man. We on the front court shooting, you just a ball fan. I'm on the top back, y'all do it all bad. Grind on the regular, tell competitors all bad. Test the team, homie, watch it fall flat. Don't want the fame, but the change, I need all that. Hustlers get your guap up, rappers get your props up. Cause sky is the limit and we got heaven on lockup. Back down to earth, street swerving down Atlantic. Long Beach riding to death, we straight smashing. This is for my family, this is for the masses. This ADX anthem in case anyone asks me. Oh, I'm taking this shit head on, head on. In the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no rockets, tell me who wanted with these shots up, boys, we stay hustling. Catch me in the booth till the night, streets holding tight, grind for my life, for my life. And niggas don't want no rockets, bring the bullshit and we'll be dumping, boy, we stay hustling.
Hey, I rep my team, rep my city, and rep my scene. D, I'm down for mine, on the grind all the time, like overtime. X, I ride to the death, can't do it like this, so don't try to step. Can't move it like this, so don't try to test. Got shoppers on the side of me, right in my left, cause we do it so swift, we do it so sick, and we ain't gonna stop. We got money to get, we got honeys to flip, got the streets on lockdown, so why would we stop now? We holding the spot down. Sour Diesel Hennessy, a bad bitch next to me, ADX human going down up in history. Do it to the death of me, so ain't nothing left of me. Dumping off the weaponry, hold it down for centuries.
Taking this shit head on, head on. In the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no rockets, tell me who wanted with these shots up, boys, we stay hustling. Catch me in the booth till the night, streets holding tight, grind for my life, for my life. And niggas don't want no rockets, bring the bullshit and we'll be dumping, boy, we stay hustling.
Bonafide hustler, stay up in the street, grinding all day and all night so we can eat. Roll up on your homies like niggas, stick 'em up. Now bags in the stash in the back of the truck. Pounds of the diesel, throw it in the air. Tipping Hennessy for my niggas who ain't here. Back on my feet after shedding a few tears. Give me 2 years stacked up with a few mil. Niggas locked up, but the homies still here. Rapping ADX fresh in the full gear. Killing the recession, puffing on the chop. Teddy Brock shot, killing blue clocks. Haters got no idea you ain't ready. It'll be a sad song if you niggas test me. Them niggas trying to send 100 cops to come get me. Gibbo sprayed a couple shots and told them bitches come catch me.
Taking this shit head on, head on. In the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no rockets, tell me who wanted with these shots up, boys, we stay hustling. Catch me in the booth till the night, streets holding tight, grind for my life, for my life. And niggas don't want no rockets, bring the bullshit and we'll be dumping, boy, we stay hustling.
We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah. So big split smoker, don't need no roller. So roll my doja, I can first show ya. Big stench odor, crystal mist cola. Sticky as the growers, we gon' teach more up. We gon' see more bud, pockets on forest. Yeah, they cheer for us, cause we got more of what they want to store plus. If I can't fly, I'ma puff till I soar up. Good day for 'em. The way I run these trees, you could say I run forest. Yeah, I run for it, run toward it. Haters can't ignore it, all that ladies love it. It's so euphoric, they so blatantly adore. Bumping all the cuts that's been cruising to the night. Like that cut from DJ Quick, cause it's going down tonight. Just slide another split so I can hit it while I ride. And shorty looking swift, I'ma hit it while I drive. We so high, smoking all the time, the time. Yeah, we so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high.
Fire up another split. Take a hit, show life I'm fucking with. And I'd be lying if I said my life is perfect. I'm hurting inside enough for me to catch a burden. Lungs turning black smoke till my chest is burning. Can't hold back, I'm high till the morning. We brew money, it's the only thing that levels me. You can call it remedy, but never gets the best of me. Twist to get it lifted while I'm shipping to the bitches. Got me feeling like the riches, I'm on it, so get with it. Flipping on that killing soul, smoking with a privilege. Take it high, then the gifted, so don't mind if I'm tripping. Gotta keep my hustle up, so I smoke the top shelf. If your lungs are strong enough, smoke with somebody else. I need that good, burning like wood should. I could wood, burning like good wood should. High, get high, touch the sky, sky. I wanna go up, light the blunt, blunt. I wanna get high, can't touch the ground, touch the sky, sky. I wanna go up, light the blunt, blunt.
We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high. Side diesel in my blunt, ain't no drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ to crank it on up. Side diesel in my blunt, ain't no drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, my blunt. Purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. SD, on SD, got me smoking the best, no stress cheese. Now hold up, now roll up. Check the situation, about to go nuts. With a little bit of perp up in my cup, you could tell the bartender to fill it on up. That's alright, baby, work your stuff. And that's all night, baby, work your strut. You and your friends can ride when I go. Take a little spin in my Monte Carlo. Take a little dip, baby, show you how I roll. Take a little hit, baby, puff on the hydro. Eyes so lit, make me look like my eyes closed. Purple Drake mix, make me look like my eyes glow. Hypno Grey Goose with a little grape juice. That's how it is, so I'ma have to take some.
Setting up Deacon and Sarah.
Okay.
Oh, we're back.
Deacon and Sarah, congratulations on your imaginary wedding.
Yeah, if you
Nobody knows what that is.
if you play Days Gone, I got this weird thing that's like an email from PlayStation, and it's an invitation to Sarah and Deacon's wedding. It is Wednesday, February 13th. Isn't that tomorrow?
Nope, that's in 2 days.
2 days.
2 days. It's Monday. I got you.
Monday.
So in 2 days at 6 a.m. Pacific time. So get your ass up early. If
Hell
you're around
no.
here.
That's for. I don't get up at 6 a.m. for nobody.
To watch
Nobody
the
in my
wedding of-
family gets
what
up
about
at 6 a.m.
What about fake video game people though?
They making you get up at 6 a.m. for a fucking fake wedding.
Pacific time.
You should
yeah.
respond to that.
To
email.
watch the wedding of Deacon and Sarah.
You should definitely
It's
respond.
a whole Days Gone
Oh
thing that's
my
coming
God.
out. There's a whole
So-
thing.
sorry,
about
I
it.
Okay,
won't
well
be
I
making
know
it.
nothing about Days
I don't
Gone,
know
so
about it either.
We're over that.
But I don't know about it either. But they emailed me this weird thing. Like it just says in the subject line, "We invite you to celebrate a very special wedding from PlayStation." That's just weird.
You should respond.
They're getting
dog.
weird out
That's
there.
just there's no response. You're gonna get a computer. Go for it. I RSVP'd. All I did was give me a time, and I gave everyone that time. So if you want to go to the wedding, tell us what happened. We'll be sleeping.
Moving on now. Yeah.
Yeah, main events.
Main events. Let's go with the
So-
Division 2 private beta.
Private beta.
Fucking terrible game. We wasted
were
fucking
lucky
I wasted a lot of time.
We were lucky enough to get access to the beta codes and then invite, our friends and get them.
I was one of the friends. Thanks.
get them going. Yes, it was yours truly,
Yeah,
The Dutch
king
master.
back at
us
it
here.
again.
Yeah.
But
I take those gifts to heart. I use
it launched at
crap
1 a.m.
out of
It
that
launched at
beta.
1 a.m., which is weird, but was cool because we got to play at 1 a.m. on a Wednesday. Or I guess it was Wednesday, yeah. And that stayed live the entire time through the next day, so that was super cool. It's like a whole full day of the base game, base game with the PVE missions and how they
Yeah.
kind of hit you into the
a
introduction.
little bit of story, what's going on.
If you played Division,
Every stranger
you
you see
knew.
is like, oh my god, you're amazing.
you knew what to do. If you didn't, Sam didn't. Did they do a good job at kind of like I was familiar with it?
I mean, like, you're an agent fighting for somebody. Like, you're a secret agent fighting in
For
like
the
a war
Division.
zone that's like a apocalypse
Yeah.
riot. Of
I mean, like in
all your
the
main
I
cities.
mean mostly
that I already knew was what
yeah,
the
no,
division
but I mean
was,
like
so,
how
like,
the
it's
game
same thing.
worked,
Oh,
like tutorial wise, like going through your your
they
your
do.
menus.
They pause you and make you watch the tutorial things, or they give you like a little slideshow description of shit. So like it was fairly easy to figure out. It is already a very standard game for the most part,
Right.
in like how the button layout is and shit like that. Some of the technical things of like modding guns and things like that, it doesn't tell you. You just have to look for the button on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So like some of that I had to just dig around and figure things out, but I figured some of that was also beta. Like
Yeah,
they're they're ironing some of those kinks out.
yeah, they're trying to streamline as much of that, get as much content to you.
But overall, I mean, I played the crap out of the game.
Yeah,
I've never played a Division before. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed like getting into the general gameplay and starting to figure it out.
yeah,
The like holding like how X works.
Right.
Just like
Manu-
attaching to cover, getting off of cover,
Right.
holding it to just like go straight from that to sprint to the next cover.
Cover, right.
And that's kind of nice because you can adjust the camera while you're like see what's going on while you're
Right.
sprinting over. Weird that you can't crouch.
totally. Yeah, no,
But like yeah, I think the game just like played like a really it reminds me of Gears of War, and like it is a good third person, easy to
Yeah,
pick up
I
and aim
thought
shooter.
that like
it's like a super
Dash
refined,
was
super refined
super
Gears
Gears
of
of
Yeah.
War.
War.
To me, it's like if Call of Duty was an MMO. I don't think
Okay.
it's super Call of Duty in play.
Yeah, but I feel.
I just think like in terms of like how the
Rock's not happy with that.
how the terms are of like the mods and the types of things they have in there.
Yeah,
I finally had played Black Ops. No, not Black Ops. What is the latest?
Apex.
Black Ops.
No, the latest Call of
Black
Duty.
Yeah, Black Ops. Blackout.
Blackout.
Yeah.
That mode. I've played some of that, so it gave me elements of that, I guess, in like the weapon mods and things like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was, but no, I thought it was a really cool thing of like pick up and go character that you stay light and you're always like changing stuff out and moving,
Yeah.
and just like opening everybody's backpack on the ground.
Yeah.
Gotta do that.
Got to open all the bags.
Yeah. It's
Go
literally
find all the
looter.
it's just a looter. It's run
It's a
around and
looter
find all the loot.
shooter with
See,
RPG.
the thing you ain't even
elements.
experienced no homeless people yet. You know, when you be like, "Hey, here's a
they get
a
wild?
water," and he's like, "Well, here's a fly ass jacket." And
Oh,
then
okay.
Customize your
I mean, I
character.
got the idea of that. I took some control
You
points.
put
I
on
like
homeless
went
clothes
donated
to
to
look
things.
better.
Hobo clothes that look better.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the crazy part.
He's starving, but
Literally,
he's got a
Some
sick
fucking
jacket.
bum
Guys,
was
before
like,
the
"Oh my
apocalypse, I
God.
used to run in Adidas.
Oh, I was so hungry. Here's this fucking leather jacket, slim cut.
Just in your size.
It's really like that, dog.
That's really funny.
But you get the color, like, and
I
if
bet
you,
I get the like,
whatever color you wear a lot, they'll help you get
That's
more of
funny.
that color, dude. That's
the
the best
gameplay
thing.
is easy to jump into though in general, and it makes sense to a lot of grind. Like, and if you play any of these games, you get how to play it pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's not as complicated as
Do the
Warframe,
mission
but it's
in
not
front
as
of you.
simple as Destiny.
Yeah.
And like the mods are easy. I like that you don't have to make the mod for each weapon. You can just when you have the mod, you have
Yeah.
it.
You have the mod right.
I really got into light machine guns.
Yep.
Those were fun. Shotguns were pretty dope in that game.
Yeah, they did a better job with them. Like, really, there was only like one shotgun. There's 2 shotguns, and one was just for fun, and then one was
Showstopper,
the
bruh.
showstopper.
Oh, God.
But then it got nerfed,
Yeah.
and then even the build with the striker with the showstopper was nerfed.
Oh.
I
They
didn't
had a
like the
cut-
more
they had a
auto
budget
shotgun.
issue.
That was the nastiest fucking build
They had
ever
a bunch
made,
of
bro.
issues. Well, what I've seen people do to people off some of these builds, they're disgusting, and they shouldn't be allowed in the game anyways.
In this one, they had like the
Dude.
more. They had the 2
You
options.
can get the builds though.
Yeah. Okay.
They had 2 types in this.
Like, there's a guy I seen the striker build just mow like literally 7 people down
Okay.
in a row, and they didn't even touch him. And then when they were, he just had to drop his box, heal once, and then he got his like the striker gets the boost back when he's like about to die or something like that. One of those.
Now,
Yeah. So he re-heals it, so it's a whole bar. Then he dies, technically dies. Then it heals him back to life.
the way you talk about that actually brings me a really
It's like,
important
is this guy a
question about
fucking
this
wizard? like, what the fuck? Dude? Like,
Game. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite builds.
You didn't unlock,
I know, but there's no magic in the goddamn game.
you didn't
like,
unlock that
yeah,
Jesus
you're
perk?
yeah, like,
I have
But
risen.
everybody gets the box. Everybody gets the
yeah,
box.
but the box, that striker build is hard to acquire for some
like-
people because of
They
the
don't want to play the
repetitive-
hard shit.
The way you
repetitive-
already
well, the
compare-
hard shit that's repetitive. It's
Yeah.
over and over the same shit.
The way you compared just now Division 1 to Division 2,
Yeah.
brings up actually what my biggest concern was with this game. Is
Are you gonna get ganked in the dark zone? Yes.
no, is it
Okay.
okay? So like,
game, dog.
here's where I'm.
That's
at.
why you
and this
play.
is where like Rocky was saying when we were playing together online, like
Yeah.
over the weekend. Rocky was like, asking me if I was like, I've really enjoyed this game. Why am I not sure if I'm gonna buy it?
Yeah.
It's a hobby game. It is a go get in your character and live in this for a while. And for me, I like play those one at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm caught in between of do I play the Division or do I play Anthem? And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people out there are going to have the same question.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Well, Anthem was definitely
you were
gonna
between the
stump
two-
that, but what? I'm still gonna get them both.
Yeah, Division. I wish that. Okay, well, we don't know how grindy the Division's
Yes.
gonna be.
My biggest question was just more in the
The
lines
grind is supposed
of
to be all game mode,
because you've already
so-
played the Division 1, is the Division 2 too quickly going to feel like you're already back in the Division 1's end game, which
What-
means it's just not going to last as long?
That's the thing.
You know what I
everything-
mean?
This
I
is what
think
it is.
that I think
Division
that-
1.
yeah,
I feel like it's going to lead
they-
to burnout faster.
They started doing crazy shit like putting named characters just on the street. 2 has that as well, but the best thing about it is it's like it's like stages to the named characters. Like it's going to be like the gold named characters, going to be the purple named characters, and then just like regular named characters. Like these are supposed to be thugs. It's supposed to evolve. The game's supposed to evolve. So like what's the name of that? That game that was like Batman, but it was like Lord of the Rings. What was that shit called?
Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah, shit, like it's like Shadow Mordor. You know
Or
how
Shadows
like
Okay,
of
so you're,
War.
like, hunting
Shadows
people
of War.
down.
Shadows
you know how
of War.
those characters like
I just watched Lord of the Rings recently. Actually, it's Shadows of War.
But you see how like one of the bad guys will be a general,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
That's the
he'll
second
rank
one.
up. So that's how it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. Like those characters are supposed to rank up.
Okay, so-
this is what I'm reading though.
They have a
So
more
I'm
developed
hoping that
meta
this
world.
is it's supposed to be wild like that, so you can get crazy shit from these characters in different stages. Because you know how you always run into them again. You be like, I
Yeah.
already killed Mad Max, but Mad Max is on this side of the city now, and he's
I
like
just-
fucking level 26 now. Things like that.
I feel
So-
like with Anthem being newer, being the new IP, it just has more opportunity for growth and for becoming what it is. Where I feel like the Division is already the developed idea, so that's what's going to become a limiting factor if you're deciding between these two games, the first of its series or the second.
Well, this is the thing.
That's
they're
just,
so-
I mean,
they're
I'm
so
just
different
speculating
to
my
me,
own
though.
concerns.
Personally, they're so different. It's like I prefer to WoW out in Anthem, and that's what I'm going to probably put.
Oh, the
most
games
of
are
my
very different
time
from each
in.
other. I'm saying Division
But
1 to Division 2,
I feel like
to
I'll always
me,
be a
and
step
even when
behind
it
in
came out on
Division
E3,
because of that.
when we saw this the first time last year and they brought it up, the initial response seemed to be like, all right, so it's just Division 1 Part 2. Like, it just didn't seem like there was going to be enough new introduced into this game. And because of the grounded aspect of the world you're in, I feel like it is already kind of limited to what I saw in this demo is really in a large part,
are
all
we
there
seeing?
is.
Are
like,
we?
is
Are we
is
thinking?
that everything there is?
Are we thinking that Ubisoft is down the same path as Bungie?
As Activision, let's go with. I put
Or
that more on Activision's part,
Activision.
but yeah, I think that's possible out of what Division 2 kind of looks like. I have no idea, and I didn't play Division 1. I just feel like that off of playing the 2 betas.
It's
now,
weird, the Dark
Anthem
Zone-
offers a more open
There's
environment.
deers in this one.
Part of the
Dark
thing
Zone?
about that is Anthem's business model. They are going to make their money on the cosmetics, and they can continue introducing things. And they've already shown like there's going to be a lot of addition.
They do the same thing in
Yeah.
Division.
Okay, so
There's caches that you can purchase and everything.
I just feel like there's going to be more diversity of gameplay in Anthem, personally. Based off the two betas.
I'm on
Yeah.
Team Anthem too. I will be playing the Division 2 as well, but
If you were
the
picking
thing is, I
one-
think that if I were picking one, it'd be Anthem, because that's the
So
world.
that's how I feel.
That's the world. I rather be in
Same.
some unknown planet,
Yes.
flying around in a javelin. And
Exactly.
That particular
That plays a
javelin,
role in my
because I
decision,
don't like
too.
exosuit games in general. I don't like suit games or big bulky
Yeah.
suit games or anything like that. But this one I really really love, and
You feel that you still
I'd
nimble.
rather be in a world like that, experiencing a big, giant, huge fantasy than like
Yes.
DC blown up.
That I do agree with that.
That's where I rather
And that
just
does
spend my
play a
time.
large role for me.
Yeah. So.
But I feel like Anthem just feels like a more discover it game.
yeah, and that's what I want to be
and-
out on the frontier of
And,
something
yes,
new. Yeah.
Whereas, and just even in the inspiration and the story and the design of
Yeah.
the concept of what Anthem is built
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
it's a discovery game.
Yeah, that's what I want to experience.
Whereas, like Skyrim say, whereas to me, Division 2 is more of a grinder
Yeah.
and
I
more
don't-
of
I
a
don't
direct
know how
grinder.
grindy it will be, because I think originally Division wasn't so grindy.
Yeah.
And then there was changes made to it to compensate some of these builds that they made that were only acquirable from certain things, that then made this huge one-sided Dark Zone experience.
Well,
where
the
you
Dark
had
Zone's
these
going to be
guys-
this ever evolving.
Where you
thing.
had these guys in the Dark Zone that were good at the Dark Zone, good at PvP, so they were able to keep their items and get their items out quickly and then put them on and then use them against those people that weren't.
Yeah.
And you got this uneven, this balance happening where you got the separation of players, and there was no other places to acquire the high tier gear that consistently in the
So,
game.
But
now
that's
that you
the
say
thing.
that
they
is a
told
problem.
you though. They
So
told
then
you
the
though.
game changed. Well, then they changed it. They started offering all these abilities in different places to get higher that same gear.
No. I'm saying
So-
like the Dark Zone shit. They told you. They said if you want to get your shit out of the Dark Zone, be smarter. Like, don't try to run as a squad, and if you do run as a squad, make sure that like everybody's playing their part.
So-
like, everybody can't be trying to put some shit.
But they
out.
can
It may
only
be, like,
jack
one-
you. They can only jack you if you put it on the rope. If you just
But, okay,
die,
let's-
you don't lose.
Let's take this
No, you
complicated
lose.
element then.
Okay, so if you,
You
die,
got to
you
go
just,
back to get it.
No,
like,
this
they
is a
don't-
great thing, though.
Do they get the opportunity to just take your bag then?
yeah, the bag is on the ground.
So it's automatic opportunity for them
And,
to take
when
it.
they kill you, they can actually go through, take what they want, and just bounce. Sometimes
Ooh,
you
nice.
have bullshit to them, and you come back to your shit.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back and see you and be like,
Honestly, that's a great way for people leveling. It's like your shit's so shitty that they don't need it, so like you can
Well,
go get it
it's
back.
there's supposed to be the separation in the zones, and it wasn't very good either.
Yeah.
That wasn't very good.
I
Well,
just
this is
okay, but
because
what
that's
you're
what
bringing
people
up
do.
then, and this is where great idea, like great question of are they going the same route as Activision of what they pushed onto Destiny?
Yeah.
That type of element, is that going to be oversimplified to just get more people to play the game in this version? When we were playing the Dark Zone yesterday, it was only giving you the same tier shit you were getting from the story things. You weren't getting anything extra.
Yeah, but
it
it
is a
wasn't-
beta,
that's-
so you can
well,
hold
the
that, take
Dark
that for
Zone
word.
was fucked.
But
Well,
that's
you
what
got-
was
the Dark
going
Zone-
on in the Dark Zone.
The
And
Dark
not
Zone's
all the-
always completely different.
and not
you
all
just
the
weren't supposed
items-
to get anything. from
And
it.
not all the items are contaminated.
Yeah, we were getting.
Well, that's true. That's how it's been. Like in this too, it depends. Like if you pick up something from a named target, it's yours immediately. You
Yeah,
don't
no,
have
no,
to-
no.
you don't
and
have
No,
to-
not everything was
So the-
contaminated. That's what
so-
you brought
That's
up.
what I'm
last
saying.
time.
Some shit's not
exactly.
contaminated.
No,
like
no,
you see
so they
people
changed
carry.
that. They changed that. But in this one, we were getting stuff just from whatever, and it was just not contaminated. Boxes, loot caches, everything.
Well, that's
Not
how it is.
contaminated.
That's how it is now.
Well,
in the
in
first one.
Division, everything was contaminated. If we got it from a
some
box
stuff.
or the named guy at a landmark or the box inside the landmark, it was contaminated.
No, the name guy's drops never contaminated. You can use it immediately.
But he would drop our contaminated items.
yeah, he
though.
can drop.
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
So
some
like in
stuff.
this one, we didn't get what in the last guy we fought once we were like
We got a couple
one.
contaminated items,
We
but
got
I got way
one.
more non-contaminated.
Well,
items.
that's the thing.
They were
Like,
just
it was an
regular
insane-
items, just like the game.
and I think
and
that-
the contaminated items
none of it was-
weren't special.
Yeah, they weren't special.
They were just normal
Yeah,
draws.
There's nothing different about them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the beta. I don't think. They
I
was
see,
gonna
and I
give you
said like
anything
it is
wild,
the beta,
yeah.
so you got to hold that. But
They haven't even talked about the
That is
named
a
weapons
great-
yet.
No, I know.
They said that there's named weapons.
We
that's
were
gonna
dark.
be
But then
zoned
I'm
out.
just
We
pointing
were
out
dark
then
zoned
that
out
that
for
is
like
something-
45 minutes and got one contaminated
Yeah.
item.
Ooh.
And I'm just pointing that out for that is something then that we should all be looking at once this game does drop.
So
And
either the
we
drop
can
rate was
see
fucked or something. I
What?
don't know.
Because that is something, but that might be something that they are tweaking shit to do the same
nobody
shit that
stepped to
happened to
us.
Destiny. How do we make it not for the people playing this game and more for getting more people to play?
No, the
and
cool
that
part
turns
is
into a
probably
problem.
nobody even there. Did you see?
There was, yeah, fuck yeah. We were rolling with two people, and I sat there and did the old Division thing, taunted the guy, walked around him, watched him from like behind
I
the
saw him and
car.
immediately started shooting because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. But you got to go like rogue and shit just to kill people. I thought it was just gonna
Yeah.
be like live action zone for everybody.
No, there's a PvP zone
Okay.
for that.
Oh, wait a minute. You
Skirmish.
can't kill to rogue anymore. Now you have to go rogue to kill.
I didn't shoot anybody.
I tried to shoot people and I wasn't doing any damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do have to go rogue.
have to
They
go
were
rogue.
talking about that. All right, so they did do that. Oh
Yeah.
man. I
So
don't
that's
know
another
about
thing.
that.
That's actually so then what that means is that if one person goes rogue, it's everyone else against that one person. So that changes up the game
But shit,
too.
if you're with them, like if you
But
went
that
rogue,
means people are less
you
likely to
made
go
him
rogue, unless you got a squad.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah,
but we
your
went-
whole-
I was out of it right away.
I was out looting, and I'm just like, it
Look,
just
dog,
go-
I
it
saw a
just go-
fucking
it
computer
goes-
on the wall, and I walked up, and it was like interact. So I pressed a button, and
just
it's
go-
like you're rogue now, and
it
I'm like,
just
what does
goes-
that mean? And then he turned it off
I
2
remember in
seconds
your
later
group-
anyway.
I
so,
remember
like-
in your group went rogue, and then it gives you the option to leave.
to leave the group.
But like, okay, so that's actually gonna make it then people are less likely to be PvP based in there because it's like, say there's 30
No.
people, say there's 10 people in there.
Well, this is
Two want to go rogue, it's 2 against 8 now.
No,
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
Okay.
Like you go rogue just to wow out.
Okay.
Because you know, okay, with this build, I'm gonna drop this box right here, and I'm gonna stand right here in front, and I'm gonna just put work down on these fools, and then you use your second whatever to like either give them damage, like that click used to give you like pain. Like if I used the click, it would affect you where you would take more damage. It would show like a broken heart.
Yeah.
And that meant like, oh, this person's gonna take way more damage. So that's the thing. It's like if I use that with the healing box and I have like the right build with the right weapon, I can mow all 7 of you down.
Yeah, there's a build.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a build where every bullet starts returning.
I
you
get
health.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get that there's
That's
gonna
the
be that
Nomad.
whole
Yeah,
thing
that's the
about it.
Nomad,
I'm just
exactly.
saying, I don't know. I just thought it's gonna like that design versus everyone's already has the ability to work against each other. Like,
Well, what I think is that what they ended up not liking is that those builds became the like end all,
Yeah.
and they nerfed them. They even nerfed them,
Yeah.
but that's not how they wanted because it's like the game was like, oh, kind of make your own build, but it became only make your own weapon build, and then you're like, okay, these guys only run these setups, so now I have to craft till I get
That's
this
why they
setup.
released the ninja shit, dog. That ninja
backpack, which allowed you to
changed the
change
game.
exactly.
I mean, like it
So-
was all pretty cool.
so,
I
you
enjoyed
know,
the game
Division
overall.
2's gonna
so
kind of start blank with those things.
I
You
like.
know what I mean? Clean slate.
In the end,
some
I did
PvP
enjoy
guys
the
are
whole
not happy.
demo. I played it to like my character was on level 7. I was crafting shit. I was making things.
Yeah, we got the whole.
I like how the
whole
general
full
game
taste.
flows.
This is something too. They fixed that shit too when they made the underground because they made a PvP area when they did the underground.
It's in there. It's in there. It's already built
and
in,
so
yeah.
because of that, the dark zone wasn't as sweaty.
It wasn't as sweaty. It was toxic.
It was.
There was one guy in there.
Yeah,
one guy in
there's
there
one
owning
guy
the
who's
server
just going
for like
crazy.
9 hours.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm streaming the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
that's
like,
real shit.
And it just became you go in, slap him, he'd go and slap you, you slap him, and that's all it
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
And you're like, no one's,
That sounds
no
like
one
Red
ever
Dead.
can prove who's better because we're only using the sweatiest shit that we
Yeah,
can.
exactly.
So
And
we
it's
just
just a
slap each
trade-off.
other, yeah,
Yeah.
every time. And then like your homies might show up, and then you'll just like slap them a bunch of times, and then
And
It's like it's like Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know why that made me think of it, but like,
That fool,
yeah,
he'll bring the
I said
crazy
Red Dead.
still
Yeah. That's
down.
what Red Dead
Yeah,
Online
it's
is
like
like.
Grand
It just
Theft
turns
Auto.
into like, I've got a rifle. Okay, I spawned in over here.
There
You
he
don't
is.
know.
There
I
he
got
is.
a rifle.
There he
Yeah.
is. Boom, and you just kill him instantly when he comes in.
Yeah.
I love it. In Red Dead, like it became
And
about
then
the
you
varmint
start-
rifle, the
they start,
weakest rifle, but
fucking,
it's still
camping the
headshots.
door that you gotta come out of. They're just
yeah.
camping it. You're like, oh fuck.
So
You go try to go to a different checkpoint, and somehow they know.
Yeah, they know. They're like,
oh,
yeah,
he
who's
went-
gonna spot
yeah,
over here?
You know he
now.
went to this
they
point
just
right here.
teleported there right before you.
Yeah, like fuck. Dude.
I really did overall enjoy the game a lot. I liked the beta a lot. I played through all the stuff. I liked the stories. I liked how certain things about it develop. I really liked because for a game that has so many, I had a drone that would follow me and do health, but it was really easy to aim on anyone and just send it over to them.
Yeah.
And then just double tap
Drop 'em with
L1 to bring it back.
exactly, yep.
Like they have a really good system of how everything worked.
Yeah.
Even the seeker mines where you would select an area for it to go over to an attack.
Yeah.
They did a very good job of how you select the area it goes to, seeing what area
Yeah.
it's going to cover.
Isaac.
Like they had a really good system about all of those things. Isaac's the system that was doing that.
He's
Okay.
the guy that he's the.
Oh, he's the guy who's running like
he's in your ear and he's gives you your menus and everything.
Manny's on comms.
And he's the guy on
I should know
comms,
that.
but there's somebody that's the actual person. But he's the guy that tells you like, disruption in the area. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? He's like the guy that's always there with you.
eyes.
He puts on your drones. He controls all that stuff. Everything.
Oh,
he's
that's
your
cool.
system. He's your AI.
That part about it's really cool. It's funny that everyone just knows you're the agent that you are. So like every single person that's like not trying to kill you is just like, "Oh, hey agent, we love you."
We'll
oh,
get
you're
we'll
such an
probably get
inspiration."
that we'll probably get
That's
that
funny.
sliver from the game
Mhm.
of how that works because that's how the division
Yeah.
is. You're untrusted. You don't know.
Well, I mean, even
who
the
you
begin
are.
in the beginning of the beta, you're coming in and everyone's like, "Oh, you came to save the day because
Yeah.
you came to help retake the White House
Right.
when you show
Yeah.
up in the beginning of this beta."
Exactly.
So.
So yeah. So they
Yeah,
do.
they always
You're-
make you be the
that's a different
badass
angle.
when you show up. They're like, if it wasn't for you, we would all be dead right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know.
But it's definitely a
Especially
great
when you're
nomadic
walking
shooter.
the streets too.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
He is, the division.
The wild man of the West. But no, they did have a really cool.
a helicopter with his bare head.
They do have like the whole nomadic agent shooter concept is well designed for what
That's
it
what
is.
makes it dope. You're like,
Yeah.
you're not a cop. You're,
But, like-
you're not necessarily anything. You're just some guy with
Like
a gun.
Dutch
who,
was saying before,
was
flying
trained.
around in my custom ultra suit was just a better. It's just a better direction for me.
No, I
At
can
this
dig it.
time, it's not them, it's me.
Can't argue
I-
that.
But I'm
man.
gonna have- yeah, I
that's
know.
the truth. Yeah.
But it was a good beta. It was a cool thing.
Absolutely.
Got a great concept of everything.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we jump over into the freaking
The other game that came out this week,
Applic Legend.
Epic's.
Yeah, I was about to be like, wait, what? Okay, yeah. But dude, really, like,
Apex
took the
Legends.
gaming world by storm
I
in
know.
just like under 12 hours. They hit like over 25 million or something like that.
It's
players,
ridiculous.
and they're at a million plus concurrent players right now.
Now we mentioned this last week. 'Cause we got a few
150K
rounds in.
Yeah, 150K in like top leader in every country in Twitch. Yeah. Fortnite, it's destroying Fortnite.
There's literally
And
memes
viewed
about
games.
people complaining to stop hating Fortnite so that all of the kids that play Fortnite don't come over to Apex Legends.
Well, that's gonna happen.
That's I know, but like that was something that was like a meme.
Every game that you play, it's some sweaty ass
Oh, yeah.
kid who's just better.
But
He's just-
so
But
That's all
Apex
he does.
Legends gets down
Apex
to
Legends
it
came
gets
out
down to
last Monday,
creativity.
and we got a few
sometimes.
rounds in before the show, and we talked about this last week.
We were
and
once
then by
again
day
ahead
3
of the curve.
Boom. But by day 3, like my brother, who's just an extremely casual gamer, like hits me up and he's like, "Dude, are you playing this Apex Legends game?"
Yeah,
I was blown away that he was already
week's-
on this.
Our last week's freaking post, picture was Apex Legends picture, and that was before this shit was even hyped.
That's because we're better.
That's because we know our
Like,
shit.
Respawn surprised the world with this release.
I know.
We were there day one.
Yeah, but no.
The plug,
Yeah,
calling it
game,
early.
The game is we knew it was gonna be good. We knew it was gonna be fucking a good game. We were playing it nonstop. We played it every day, and now it's fucking the #1 game.
I have a main.
It's #1. Yeah, exactly. Like we're concrete
Who's
in
your
this
main?
game,
Lifeline. What do you know? I'm support class.
and that's the thing is though.
But I
is,
like to drop. You could drop the bot and tank.
So like I'm a battle royale guy. Sam's wasn't so much. He did.
I'm an
dabble.
Overwatch guy.
But the thing is exactly it brings in these elements from these other games. Overwatch one of them, where you have this ultimate, and it kind of interacts in the same way. You build it up, it has a cooldown, it has this MMO feel to it.
You have one special ability that is same charge rate type thing.
the borrowing of all these other games and these aspects of the games, and yeah, Saint's got a video for us going here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually a great play. This is 1,000 IQ. That's my teleporter right there.
Oh yeah. So Dutch was playing this character Wraith,
Got
who
you, bitch.
is teleporter based.
Got you, bitch.
Has like either can like go into like a Wraith mode and move quick.
love
is that.
that.
Was that no?
was
That
my
wasn't.
tele-
Is
that was
that
my-
the chick with the purple?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that's
set it.
what-
And then
I
she
set
drops
a teleport.
the teleport
yeah.
is great.
I set a teleport down at the bottom, and I went in there and capped his friend. And then I teleported back to the top of the hill. They were getting pushed by the storm, and I looked down the hill and see the guy get in my teleporter. And there's only one way one place that teleporter goes, right next to me, and he's not gonna know I'm there. Boom.
And like, okay, so
This is me and some Sam gameplay.
I bring
too,
this
right here.
I bring this game up with Overwatch a lot because this game really does incorporate the way the character designs are very Overwatchy. The way the character
Passive
movesets
ability-
are designed with
passive
the passive and
abilities.
everything. Yep, it's very Overwatchy in that character play. They have a cool story about all the characters. Like they invested in all this,
Yeah.
which is great. And then
Lay down
you
some
know there's
smoke.
going to be more characters down the road. There's like a good
Yeah.
there's like a good
Yeah. The way
side
they've
of
built.
asset, essentially, or
Yeah,
whatever.
there's definitely an,
Factions, if you
an
will.
intuition about like how they're going to do these characters and the ability to bring more in, and then balance their archetype.
Yeah.
So there's the support, there's the attack, there's the healing. Okay,
It has
there's
the
some
clean- yeah,
blends.
it has the
There's some
class
people
types.
that blend with their passive abilities and their into their different types, their different archetypes.
I feel like most of the classes they did a really good job of like each character has like a special thing about them, and that's what their passive, their ultimate, and their regular ability are.
Well, I've noticed that
I
two
feel
people
like
have the
this
same
shit is way
passive.
better than Overwatch. Though.
I compare
Well-
the certain design aspects of it.
You took these aspects, design aspects to them, and then applied them to the hottest thing in gaming right
Yes,
now,
a
Battle
Battle Royale.
Royale.
And it like, but it does a great job then of
Oh, this is a
doing
good
what
play, too.
Overwatch is built on. Team play aspects. You are actually like when you pick characters,
Such extra
you
out
are
now.
totally
so
yeah.
extra out.
There's no there's
It's an airstrike.
thing.
And I do get a
And there's no fall damage too, so he can just jump down. But yeah, what you get with this game
rain. And
is
then watch.
you get heavy team play in this, 3-on-3. Awesome for that.
This guy takes damage in that corner, and then this game's so great, I can mark him for my guy to tell him, hey, there he is down there.
That's okay. So
And
that's
yeah,
another
and
thing
that's
about
actually what-
Apex.
what
so
I really wanna
aside
talk
from
about, yeah.
adding this unique character type play into this that adds a whole new element to the battle royale concept, they
this is a dirty
improve
play,
on
dirty
the UI of battle royales incredibly. The ability to change weapons as they come in. The ability to look at an item to see if it attaches to any of your
They
weapons
streamlined
because there's a lot of
stuff.
mods.
They streamlined
The
that.
ability that when you kill someone and they drop their box of stuff for you to go rob, the box is big, it's easy to see, and it's glowing a color based on the
Bring all-
highest
who wants some
ranked
smoke?
item that they have in
Bring
the
the
box.
smoke. Clapped.
As a team game, they have it built in that you can revive people.
Clap.
You can go to your dead partner's box, grab their tags,
More smoke.
and they have respawn out places you can get to go bring
Get
them
clapped.
back.
Get clapped.
There are tons of item drops. There are
Bullets out here
chests
wilding out
everywhere.
right now.
So it's like not a game where you're scavenging
I
to be
saw
a
that.
fighter.
Yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
pretty easy to
look,
become a
This is a
fighter
funny
in
play.
the game.
I've been camping here. I just did that wipe, that wipe, and I had to camp in this corner and watch these cats that roll through here, looking for me. It's just a subtle play,
Dude, you get a whole squad that just chases you down.
just
too.
a subtle play. But anyways, yeah, no, the beauty of this game really relies into what every other battle royale where they've all fallen short, the communication. Respawn
man, yeah.
understood that, hey, we're gonna have 3 packs here that aren't gonna be communicating through the comms, verbally not communicating. They have a whole built-in ping system that allows you to
The greatest R1 button
streamline,
ever.
communicate anything that you want to say, right there built into the controller, allowing you to
In one button.
fully tell people. See, I don't even know. I might have missed the clip.
So-
anyways. But it allows you to tell anybody anything. This is the heal off win right here.
Nice.
But it allows you to tell your teammates anything without you being on the comm. So now let's say we have a guy, there's two of us or one of us, and he doesn't have a mic. We don't need it. Hey, you don't want to talk to us. You have insecurities or whatever it is. We know you have a mic because everybody's got a goddamn mic. The PlayStation comes with one. The Xbox comes with one. You don't have to. I'll
Yeah.
ping it for you, brother. Here's the items. Come get these items. Get yourself upgraded, and then let's go clap these people.
that shit
and
is
I'm marking
tight,
them
like-
over here.
And
Like, a guy will tell you like there's a gun here and ammo
So,
and a helmet. You be
the
like, oh shit.
R1 button.
It's beautiful.
It's all stapled to just that one button. Whatever you aim at, if you press R1, it will mark that exact item, so people can. So your character will say exactly what that is and what level it is to your teammates. You can mark. You can
Dubsky.
press it once at anything you're aiming at, and it will give a point of interest to all your teammates. You can double tap it, and so you can double tap R1, and it'll make it like I've seen an enemy here.
Right.
Ping for all your
Hey,
teammates.
how many people
Or
play
you
on
can
this?
hold it
Like,
down,
per
and then
list?
it'll give you a whole spread, like a whole circle to use your joystick and select.
75,
So
70
you can
something.
hold down
Okay,
R1 and
so
get a
they
whole
have- okay.
wave of options.
I
So
was
it's like the
wondering,
greatest
'cause it seemed like it
communication
was-
tool in this
the
game.
games are a little faster than
The games you can be left with big circles with people because the way the game plays is great about how the circle moves and everything, but the ultimate and your ability to scurry and like get out of places.
And those
allow
fucking balloons
a
you
lot
can
of
just shoot up
movement.
and take another
Yeah,
dive
it allows a
bomb off.
lot of movement to
Yeah.
be places, a lot of places, and it pushes people to areas where they think are safe and they're not. And then it also pushes you, it allows you to get to places where you're safe. So you have these like weird plays where you're literally dead, and then all of a sudden you're alive and you have both your people's banners and you're reviving them on the other side of the map, and now you're potentially winning the game again.
We've had some
Right.
crazy turnarounds.
So
and
yeah,
gotten dubs.
exactly. But like the thing is that the pace of it is like very few times do we find ourselves where we're camping and we don't see people.
Don't go here anymore. Don't go. Everybody goes to the spot. It's always lit.
There's the new move. That's the move. That's
That's
the
it.
move. The smoke.
Oh, dude.
Instantly.
Yeah, Dutch pulled this. So, all right. So,
you
know,
land. You pop smoke.
let's talk about each of these characters. They each have a cool element about them. Dutch is playing. What's her name again?
Bangalore.
Bangalore. She is just like heavy. She's like a sentinel type.
Oh,
She's
this guy
got, or she's just like a
Yeah,
defensive
this is
fighter.
her. This is her. This
She
is a good clip
shoots
of her.
smoke bombs into the ground, and Dutch was killing it with like if we land in an area that's lit,
Bing.
he'll just shoot the smoke bomb into the ground so we can all like scurry around and do our thing.
Yeah.
She also has. Go ahead. Like
No.
What was it-
You're
what's her
right.
passive?
Her passive is called.
oh, and she gets shot when she's sprinting. She sprints faster.
That's her passive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For a period of time.
Yep.
And then she has an ultimate that's like that we saw before, the airstrike.
Right.
That's
The airstrike
that's
is
been
pretty
Dutch's main, would you say, or is it?
Yeah,
Wraith?
no, it's been my
She's been
main.
your main.
Wraith is good, or my mains are right now Gibraltar and this
Okay.
chick, and this is the heal off win right here. So you know, it
Give
gets
us the
down to
Gibraltar rundown.
it.
too.
It gets down to it.
Brada.
It gets it down to the same thing we see in all battle royales. This is a heal off win,
Nice.
where dude, it didn't come down to my gunplay or anything else. It came down to me, my resources, my resource management, having those heals, everything. Here
Those
it is,
throwing
guys.
stars need a buff.
Here it is, guys, right here. Just wait for it. It happens.
Champion.
We won.
Those throwing stars
Okay.
need a buff, I think.
But the real truth, yeah, Gibraltar. You want the Gibraltar breakdown? That's
give
the
us
beauty
the
of this
Gibraltar
game
breakdown.
is that I got to give
Each of
you a
these
breakdown
characters
of
is
each
dope.
character.
Yeah.
I've
and
only
those are
used
the
that one
built.
character,
These
that
are the
one chick.
built-in characters. Gibraltar has the shields. He has passive is a
Oh man,
a
it
gun
sucks
shield.
when you're shooting against the Gibraltar.
His L1 is like a area shield, and then his ultimate
Straight
is
off of
a
Winston.
bombardment. It's a bombardment, aerial bombardment,
God,
but it's a little bit
border shot.
different than Bangalore's. It's an area that all gets raided at one time, so it just drops it straight down, several waves of it. Where Bangalore's actually like spreads, it creeps through an area, so it like starts to the left and moves to the right through progression. So like if they're moving or sweeping across an area, or you want to cover a wider area, that's what the Bangalore is good for that.
You just see all those bombs drop in though with Gibraltars,
Yeah.
and they're just sticking in the ground, and
No,
you're
that's
surrounded
Bangalore's.
by.
That's Bangalore's.
Oh,
Yeah, Bangalore's,
that
and then
shit gets
she
so
blows,
scary.
Yeah, and then then they blow. They all hit, and then they blow up as you move.
Yeah.
So it's like a series of landmines. I guess
like-
you could time it or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's all like those type of things. These ultimates, Gibraltar's, for instance, can just literally swing the tide of an entire battle.
Yeah.
You're being pressed. Let's say you're in an open area. You're being pressed. You can pop your ultimate in a scurry, like running away, and it's a defensive bombardment. It's going to land right where the smoke is, exactly where you popped it. So if they're around you, it's going to go in that exact area, and it's going to be almost instant to where they're either going to have to push behind or get away from you, or they're going to push forward, maybe getting you, but then taking a bunch of damage. But what it does do is it allows your teammates to help you get around you, or it secures you the win.
And you can really combine the characters to get the play off. Like you can
that was the
really play
wingman.
off each other.
It was wild.
The
Right?
wingman works.
Oh, the
Yeah, we
wingman
were-
is favorite gun
Yeah.
currently. It's the heavy pistol, of course.
But these ultimates, that's the point. Like the
They're game
respawns. Literally, it's became the battle royale of well-deserved second chances, I guess. Like if you have good gameplay, or you can do like not so good, like Fortnite, you're not good with a gun, but you're good at building, right? This one, it's like you're not good with a gun at this moment, or you don't have a good set of guns. You are set with enough abilities, passive, and then an active one that's the cooldown's not crazy. It's not a long time. That you could make a play without that and get out of there.
the low
and
cooldown's a
live.
big deal too. You get to use
And
your
that's what it
character.
is. The respawn makes the game about like second chances. What do you
Yeah.
know? You know
And
what I
like,
mean?
okay,
Like,
so my characters.
You can bring characters back from their death.
Mm-hmm.
You can revive them when they're knocked down. You yourself has a passive ability that's built in there to save you and get you out of a tight situation. Coupled with another ability that's going to assist you or support you in that same way. And that's what the game is about. It's like, here's your chance to stay alive. Do it well, and you will be rewarded with potentially bringing your own entire crew back and a full chance to win. Like Sam's seen it. We've done some crazy
We've had
shit.
some crazy comebacks.
Yeah, like
But,
we've done some crazy
and it's,
shit.
It's all about too the team structure, because this game
Yes.
you notice that like if you're the last one on your clan, that means that whoever killed the other two guys, those three of them are probably coming after your ass too.
Yeah,
Right.
This game
definitely.
is very like group focused in that, and it functions well for that. So Dutch played the two main defensive based characters, and he was crushing as the tanks for us. I've been the support class character. I play my first main is Lifeline. What she does is her active is she drops a robot that as long as you're standing still close to it, it'll tap in and start healing you. But that means as soon as like shit gets lit, I'll like double back just to the closest kind of safe area
Yeah.
where I can drop that and I can tank because
Yeah.
I'm constantly getting healed.
Yeah, it's
She also has the passive that is when I am reviving someone, a light shield goes over me, so I can actually like withstand more damage if someone's trying to shoot at us while I'm trying to revive someone. And then her ultimate is she calls in a supply cache that just rockets down,
yeah.
and it gives you 3 items. At least one of them's going to be purple, so
Yeah.
it's always good. But like ultimate support class right there.
Right.
The other one I like to play is what's his name again? The robot
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Yep.
He is he's more of like a scout.
Yeah.
He has a
He
hook
has
shot.
a healing. He has a healing archetype though. I don't even understand.
No, his passive is the scan thing. I thought.
I know, but it
Oh.
says it has a med cross.
Oh,
on
I
it.
didn't.
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
notice
even
that.
get it. I
Oh yeah,
don't
he's
get
so it's just generally support type because he
I know,
does
but
the
they have a
beacon
shield
scan.
too. They have a shield next to the other support guys.
I think it's because his for people who don't. All right, so like Pathfinder is a movement based character, as in his active is he shoots a hook shot that he can like.
he can get.
If
to
you're
places.
Widowmaker in Overwatch,
Yeah.
it's he
but
can.
he is not a sniper.
No, well, you can grab a sniper,
grab
and
a
honestly,
sniper.
you could pull off some cool shit because I've noticed that zip line, you hook like the top of a cliff,
Yeah.
and you can launch yourself really well and do some cool shit.
Right. Yeah.
Especially because there's no fall damage.
Right.
So like, so Pathfinder does that. His ultimate is he sets up a zip line that everyone can use, so you can set up movement for the whole team.
I wish it was further.
Yeah, I agree. He wish he
Yeah.
had more range. especially with the ultimate.
Right.
And then he has the passive where he can scan balloons. There's like beacon balloons throughout the game that you can ride up to the top and then fly off of.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
a
really
re-jump.
useful.
Yeah, it's really
Down
useful
to the
for movement.
last two circles, and you can know where the last one's going to be at.
And yeah, so
Move
he,
there, prepare.
his passive, he scans those beacons and finds out where the last circle is going to be. So your team can know in advance with him. So he's support in terms of like scout type class, which is really cool. It's a good mix up. Let's see what other characters we got. We got 2 you have to unlock. I fucking hate them. That Mirage guy. There's a-
Sam always gets played by the fucking.
Oh my god! So they have a
the
Mirage class
decoys.
that throws decoys, like digital versions of
gotten me
himself will run into
before.
a
It's gotten
room and
me
then you
for
shoot
sure.
that and it's just a decoy and then he comes in the other door. Oh, I got.
It's gotten me,
Oh, man.
but you can always tell because
yeah.
he runs in a straight, direct line.
Okay,
Or he
does it-
stands still.
I thought I saw him run in.
He
his door
stands
and come around
exactly
the corner or
perfect
something.
still, and he has his phone. It looks
Okay.
like he has his phone in his hand, or he's running in the exact same pattern in a straight
Right.
line. He doesn't like budge whatsoever.
I hadn't seen him well enough
And
to
you
get
can
that.
you can see. I got the chance of seeing him activate one from far away
Uh-huh.
while he's running, and you can just tell the movement type. He has like his face like. It's like he's in a flash running.
It's a
stance.
very- yeah,
You know
okay.
what I mean? So it's like a very like
Concentrated thing,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. To where
It's
his other
repetitive. You'll
guy,
be able to figure it out.
yeah, his other guy, the other guy's flow, the movement is different.
But man, when you're in panic mode, that
Yeah,
shit
no,
goes
right, yeah. When they open
insane.
when something opens the
Oh.
door, you shoot it. Yeah.
And so like him and then the other guy, Caustic, who's all like poison gas based, throws canisters and shit to
Trap.
really sucks.
He's
Yeah,
a trap
trapper.
guy. He's a trapper, and
I guess
and,
that's what both
and
of
then
them are.
aerial control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or
the two
area
of them,
control.
you have to like unlock with credits. Either you can spend money or do like you can grind it out.
Yeah, I'm almost
Um,
there. I'm actually almost there.
Nice. I'm
For
almost
one.
there too. I
For
think.
one.
How much is it?
Yeah, 12,000. I have
of
10.
those credits. One of
Yeah.
the it's credits you get from
Yeah,
leveling up.
and I have 10, so hopefully I'll have it soon.
I almost have enough for one. Which one are you
Yeah.
gonna get?
Caustic, because I have a sweet
See,
legendary.
I
Like he's
kinda
like a
wanna put
Viking
Caustic.
legendary with this big fucking
Nice.
like bear rug on.
that's
He has like
nice.
spiked shoes and a like skull like mask thing. It's
They have
pretty
dope
dope.
skins for all the guns, all the
Oh,
characters.
you opened
for
up one of
sure.
those things and got it?
Yeah, I got it from a pack,
Yeah.
the Apex pack. All of my
Yeah.
shit's for the two
I've gotten
characters
some
that
cool
you
shit.
Yeah,
can't get.
that's what mine is for too.
Yeah, nice.
But no, the game's so much fun. It's taking the
There's
world by storm.
totally gonna be more
okay,
characters
so
at this rate.
the gold knockdown shield. Okay, so you get these knockdown shields. Like here's another thing.
Oh my God.
We talked about how it borrowed from all these other games, and then we talked about some core things that made it unique that Respawn came with. Here's another one, the knockdown shield. When you're
Yeah.
knocked down, you get an overshield that you can activate that will take some damage, allowing you to kind of weather the storm while your team gets back to you. This is totally team based.
And you move slower when you have the shield up,
Yeah.
but you move.
Well, there's a
faster without.
gold one. So there's the standard white
Oh, I
one.
haven't- I've seen the
there's
purple,
the
but that's
rare blue one, the legendary purple one, or epic purple and legendary
Follows the
gold
standards
one.
and then there's the epics.
Yeah, and then the gold one self-reses you. That's what it was that we found out about the self-res when people were talking about it. We seen somebody doing it, and we thought it was the lifeline, but we couldn't figure. Like, no one has that. It's a gold shield that does that. So the items in the game are different than anything we've seen before,
Nice.
and they have abilities. I got a gold tier sniper, and it is literally just like it feels like it's just the best weapon. Like no weapons come like that standard. Like
All the
Ye-
guns come flat,
yeah,
boring,
they're-
standard, and you pick
they're
up the
pretty
mods
bad.
for 'em.
Yeah, they're actually pretty bad. But once
Yeah.
you get a scope, a barrel stabilizer, something like that,
Yeah.
it improves it so much that now you're like, okay, this is what I've like.
And they
This is
even
how the
have,
gun
like-
should feel.
Yeah, they even have like these weapon perks too. So like, there's a perk you can pick up. They're like purple perks
Yeah.
that like it's only works
Makes
for
your
the
hand
wingman.
cannon
or
a
this one,
two-shot, yeah.
yeah. Or there's one that only works for the
sniper
peacekeeper,
rifle, yeah.
and it tightens the spread.
makes
of the
it a
shotgun, so
charge
goes more
shot.
range. Oh, I haven't got that
It
one.
charges it. No, if you charge that shot down scopes, it turns it into a sniper. You can fucking
Crazy.
map somebody with the shotgun.
Oh my god.
They literally like I
But
want to
it
say
is
that
a
they've
hard
borrowed
draw
that
to
from like
pull all the
Time
stuff.
Splitters or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just actually recently heard that someone bought the Time Splitters.
Whoa.
From I think maybe Ubisoft. They bought Time Splitters. So we might be seeing some new Time Splitter stuff. And if they do, that means we're gonna have the most savage LAN parties or fucking and now that the internet is prevalent and Time Splitters can come out. If we have Time Splitter matchups of like double P90 games, only double P90s, Oh my god! I remember
Someday I'm
we would
gonna
run
have in my
hours of
house-
those. We'd have like 300 kill games where just only P90s, double P90s, time splitters, and just savagery. It was like the best competitive times of like, well, amongst, not really competitive, like amongst, 3 of your best friends. It was like the break in between
It was the not serious
Smash Brothers.
shooter.
Smash Brothers. Yeah, well, no, everybody's playing Halo.
Yeah.
And Time Splitters had this really unique, weird story.
Yeah.
But also coupled with this just insane, over the top, like how ridiculous can we make these guns fire, and rocket launchers and grenade launchers explode? How ridiculous can we make it, and then still have this like
Yeah, but
be
like-
competitive and fun?
Warthog jousting.
I mean, so Time Splitters
Dude,
like
when
really.
you just go outside, you just take the 2 warthogs, you just run them at each
Yeah.
other. They just shoot off for like miles in different directions because those things. I just
Yeah,
remember
but
those days.
there was just way more variety.
Classic
Is what I'm
Halo
saying.
stuff. Yeah, I get
Halo's like, okay, we got 4 weapons. You know what I mean? Like that's what you had.
And you know what they
You had a
invented
pistol,
in Halo?
an AR,
He's
a
like,
sniper
all right,
rifle,
well
and a
then I'm
rocket
gonna take
launcher."
this one plasma grenade, throw it
Rocket
off that
launcher
jump
was the shit.
platform.
Well, they're the
watch
plasma
that
game.
plasma grenade shoot across the map off that jump platform to another jump platform, and then
Yeah.
stick some guy and blow him
Yeah,
up.
and Halo was so
That shit
Halo
was
was so
nuts.
competitive that it started getting so serious. Like
It was insane.
you couldn't play it with people you didn't know without them getting like someone getting
Well,
butthurt.
Look what Halo did for like the
But
console
Halo
side
was-
of
I don't know,
competitive
it's still
gaming.
fun to this day, dog.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, we don't get Time Splitters was left behind. Is what I'm saying.
It is
So if we get-
arguably
if
the
we get a
best gun
flavor-
in
I don't
any
think
game
they're gonna make
to
a new one. I
use.
think they just want to use some of the
Look.
elements from it.
Arguably
Oh,
the
I don't
best
like hearing
gun in
that.
any game ever is the Halo 1 Magnum.
The
One of the
scope-
best
the
guns ever.
scoping pistol.
Yeah, the 2
Yes,
scope
absolutely.
pistol.
Yes,
the,
exactly.
Yeah, the 2 times
you just
zoom
map-
and the like
It has
headshot
no-
death.
There was no such thing as
Yeah.
jam and drop off. No such thing as jam and drop off, and the bullet shot straight the entire
number,
fucking
yeah,
time.
Yo,
the number of
the
rounds
headshots was
Oh, yeah.
disgusting.
The
All
number
you could barely see
rounds
the guy in the scope.
that we would
And
play
it
is
would
Magnums
cap 'em.
only. Just Magnums
My
only
favorite
rounds
was when,
forever.
yeah.
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite. We did that in rocket launchers, Magnum
Oh yeah.
rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Well, dude, the rocket jump. In,
We used to just
remember
move
those
the
days?
pistol
Yeah. So
around.
figure
But
that out.
the best part is when someone who was like, "Oh yeah, Dad, I play Halo," but like you knew that they didn't really know,
Oh, yeah.
like they didn't really know about the Magnums, and you just
Yeah.
they're like,
He just pistoling everybody.
they're like, yeah.
Oh
it's
man,
like
I'm taking this machine
locked,
gun. Okay, go
locked,
for it. I'm
and
gonna
then
have
they're
this
like
pistol.
they'll like switch up and start camping, and then you just dope feed, dope feed. They're like. Like, wait, what? I didn't even know you could get snuck up on in this game. I was like, yeah, well, I memorized the entire map.
Oh, dude,
So,
dude, the sneak, the
Hey,
the
good luck.
sneak kills.
Hey, remember when they re-released Halo 1, dog? People went crazy, dog. Oh my
I
god.
know. Too bad that you'll
Those
never see
beautiful
that.
memories.
You'll never see that. You'll only
Anyways,
see-
Apex has a lot of Halo feel about it too.
It does. It has a lot of feel from a lot of different games, and I think that's why it has attached to so many different people,
Yeah.
even people that are not into battle royales. And then that aspect where you're like, okay, battle royale, because it started with just gunplay. That's
Yeah.
what it started with.
Yeah.
And grenade, it was like, let's take this first-person shooter and make it into a competitive platform where every man's for themselves.
Yeah.
And then let's do that with third-person shooter. Okay, there it is. Well, they're like, okay, well, let's take the aspects of every other game that we think is fun and then put them in there into the battle royale.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, you have this rainbow sherbet, delicious sherbet of
hell yeah.
of video game Apex Legend, where you're just like, yeah, it doesn't matter where I go in on this, it's great. And like, I don't know, the experience from it is fun, just like any other battle royale.
We
When
didn't
it
even
gets
talk
down to-
about being the jump master.
the heart your heart rate's up. You're playing. You're like, it's 1v1s. Your heart rate's up. It does that. It provides that for you. It's competitive. The
And when you
gunplay's
die, you don't
good.
have to feel like I gotta just watch the rest of this round. You got a chance to come
There's
back.
like,
everyone's-
there's like this
the
weird.
game
like,
is always up right
there's
now.
this weird like game show vibe to it. The
Oh.
banner's up. Your
Well,
guys
it's a
up
game
on
show.
the. Yeah.
That's the story
Right,
of
yeah,
it. Is
exactly.
everyone's going into
Yeah,
the Apex
right?
for
So, like, the
you
banner's
want to be
up.
the legend. And,
Yeah,
like,
the banner's up. Your guys' things on the screen. You can go back and forth. It has your timer up, like all colored out, and like kind of superimposed a little bit bigger.
throughout the map, you'll see like a random thing that looks like a screen, and it shows 3 ribbons hanging
Yeah.
down. It shows like the team that's in the lead.
The
or
team that's
whatever.
in the lead, the guy with the highest kills, and basically if you kill him, you get 500 extra XP.
Yeah. So they have like a team leader, so that you're always trying to hunt someone down.
Right. Yeah. So it's
When you're flying in, so that generally it's the last person to pick character.
That's what we
'cause it does
thought.
the time down, but it does change up. There's this thing called the Jump Master, rather than like having, all right, I'm jumping now, and everyone has to try and jump and follow you.
Your team falls.
And-
off.
And your buddy that's always
Initially,
AFK
the way the
'cause
game
he's getting a
automatic-
sandwich or,
That was me.
safety meeting.
Yep. So like, it makes one person the jump master. So if you don't touch any buttons and you go into the like load-in screen, the one person is the jump master where they can press and all three people jump off
Yeah,
the plane at
and
the
go to
same
the same
time
place.
and can control all three people.
It's
And then those other two at any point can press a button to break free from that.
yeah. And
But
it's
the
just-
idea is that you can just drop everyone in the same spot. You don't have to play like a whole weird
it
game about just that.
It just shows how they literally looked at the battle royale genre.
man.
They looked at how
and
people
understand
play
a
the
shortcoming
Battle Royale genre.
of the launching of that people don't land at squads. It's hard to play as a solo player because people don't have mics. People don't land as squads. Well, guess what? We remedied a default, a natural, intuitive platform for you to basically reestablish that connection without doing anything on your end.
Yeah.
You just need to load up. You don't even have to press any buttons. It will fucking pick your character for you. The most common character that you pick, it will pick it for you.
And
if
whatever you played
And
last,
if you want to switch
it'll
that,
automatically
if
put
you
on.
want to switch that, the key here is go to your legends, and then go in there like you're gonna pick a skin or something
Before
like that
you launch the
Before you
game.
launch and activate it, that one, and then that will be your default. So if no one else
Yep.
picks that before you, that's the guy you get. And then if as long as you're not the jump master, they'll jump in for you, and you just have to land and then clap.
Yeah.
That's it. Land, clap cheeks, move, get to the circle. That's what you got to do. Easy. They make it real easy and straightforward. And then then you start playing the game and you're like, it's not. There's attachments here. There's all these sets of attachments. Oh my god, my gun feels so much better with this one on there.
But like
rather than
management
this
of it,
one.
dropping shit, sharing stuff with people, like it's all
Easy.
easy to do.
Easy. So we'll swap all the attachments to your weapons. It doesn't break them down or separate them or anything. It just puts them on the new
It'll-
one.
I didn't get that
Yep.
deep into
It'll
the game.
auto-
Auto
on the
put
new
the
one.
best
If
one
everybody
on your
knows,
thing.
I just-
It'll
I just
auto
played.
fill everything really
There's a
easily.
one button hit for everything.
Yeah.
Do you want to transfer this scope to your other button or to your other gun? It's one button. Go over the gun, go over the item, hit square. Transferred. Boom. The other one's on the other weapon, or if it doesn't fit on it, it's back in your inventory, and if it doesn't fit there, you dropped it.
Game is definitely easy to play
That
on the
easy.
move. It is well
The box
controlled
going
in
through
all
the
those
box
aspects.
is really easy when there's
Yep.
dead characters.
It just lets you know right away what works with your shit and what doesn't.
Yeah.
It tells you, like, it just makes the game able to be played and
Yeah.
quick and function,
It's-
and everything is UI smooth.
Yeah, it really is. It really is like
Last night
They-
I
they-
got booted from the game.
Yeah,
every
this is
other
one
fucking
issue.
round.
This is a
so this is an
issue.
issue
It
right
has
now. Is
been.
there has been some consistency issues. You do get booted. Usually it's like between starting the matchmaking and going into where you pick the characters. That's usually where it happens, and the game crashes in your PlayStation. For the PlayStation, it does the like loading 100%, like go back to blue screen.
yeah.
And then so that keeps happening. But aside from that, the rest of the game runs really well.
Yeah, it does.
Impressive. Just right off the bat, they brought something huge. They surprised the world with it. Everyone saw it somehow, played the game, and everybody fucking loves it.
Yeah.
Get on Apex
Really.
Legends. It's free to play.
It's free to play.
It's the same
best
concept.
best free to play game to
Yeah.
come out. That's gonna be my final thoughts on it. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Apex Legends free to play doesn't get better than that. Battle Royale doesn't get better than that. Sure. If
It's
you're a
only
little bit
gonna get
more,
better. This
if
is
you're
day
like
one.
you're like strung up on like Fortnite because the building, or like you're that in love with like the skins, or like
This
just
game
the
does
vibe
skins
of it,
great, though.
but just the vibe
More
of it.
Overwatchy
Then
style,
of
though.
course, then yeah, you can stay in Fortnite and have your fun. But if you guys are somebody that's on the edge, on the fence of like, hey, I'm looking for a new game or a new battle royale or a new shooter, this will satisfy it. It's free,
Yeah,
so like
so
you don't
just
have to get
fucking
invested.
try it.
Exactly, you don't have to get invested in it if you're not good or you don't like it. You can just play the shit out of it, just like a lot of people did with Fortnite, and then they ended up getting good and then developing this love for it later. And I think Apex Legends is just right down that same path. I'm on board. I'm playing the shit out of it. It's my number one battle royale.
I'll be bringing you to life later
Yeah.
with the robot Lifeline.
I
Quit your
told you this guy's
whinging.
addicted, dude.
Yeah, I
He's been
tripped that.
sending me fucking Apex Legends.
You know what?
texts,
That's because
dude.
you did the Brada thing from like the Gibraltar lines, because that guy's been so lit.
I know, I love him. Rocky, what about you? Division 2 thoughts, because you didn't play that much. What are you doing?
I liked it a lot. I'm
Full
getting it.
recommendation.
Hell
Division
yeah,
or Anthem?
definitely. I'm getting them both. Like hands down, that's a bad question for me.
That's fair.
I gotta base that on you.
I'm
guys,
choosing
'cause-
one because like I really invest in one game at a time when I play those, and
Yeah.
so like for me, I'm going Anthem.
I mean, I'm getting them because all my homies play Division, but
Yeah.
Anthem is just the game
Um,
I've been waiting on personally.
Okay, next week we're talking.
Farts.
Are we doing Black Desert?
on Xbox?
Beta on Xbox is the 14th. Goes live on 14th. So that means we can play on the
All
weekend
right,
and
I'm gonna
have
try and get some of that.
talks about it next week. And then what else was I talking? What's coming? Crackdown.
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3. You guys can activate your free game passes and get it.
Is
and
it-
play
is it
for a
out
month.
tonight?
It comes out like before the 15th. So in between now and the 15th. So yes, it's coming out like.
So we're
Soon.
gonna have news
Okay,
on
well,
all
let me-
that coming
keep
to
me
you.
posted
That's
on
gonna be
next
what's
week.
we're going on next week.
Monday.
Otherwise,
6:00. The plug.
That's what we be doing.
We did it.
All right, live on DFZ Radio. We out.
Game out.